How's it, everybody? And a warm welcome to the first 2023 edition of the Web3 show. I'm your host, Philip Kalinko, joined by my friend, Kate Bergman from the Droid Kingdom. I want to wish you all an amazing, amazing new year. NFTs are currently going through a big uptick. Finally, we've got a bit of action going on. In today's show, we're going to explore some of these collections. We're going to understand why they're pumping and catch up on all the major Web3 stories happening right now. So buckle up and get ready for the show. A reminder that nothing that we say is financial advice. We are not financial advisors. And if you haven't noticed, the Web3 space is incredibly risky. So always do your own research. We're going to be looking at what NFTs are pumping, the Memeland Mint, proof, what they're doing with the Jimmy, the Monkey trial, Sappy Seals, Pudgy Penguins, and much, much more. Kate Bergman, Happy New Year, my brother.
Dude, hell fucking yeah. Glasses coming back on. Phil leaves the NFT space and we hit a bull run. I guess Phil, what does that mean? What does that mean for the brand?
Yeah, I don't know, my brother. Maybe I need to go and let the bull run go crazy. But yeah, so good to see, man. So good to see. Seeing some action. I've made a couple of plays that we can chat about in the last couple of days. Yeah, well, I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
Okay, I'll tell you. All right, well, all I did was I just bought a couple nifty portals from the Nifty Morning Show because Easy's whitelist is coming up for his Bodega NFT. And I knew that they would pump because you can have, if you have that NFT, you get whitelist for it. So I bought a couple, and I think they're up almost 0.1 from where or I think 0.12 or 0.13 from when I bought it. And so I'm thinking about, I shot him a message and I just asked him how it works. So I think it's a snapshot for the thing. So I'm just gonna flip. I'll probably flip both right before. Actually, no, I'll flip one before because I do want whitelist for his NFT project. So I'll hold one. And yeah, I think that was one of my plays. And there's something else I bought, but I can't remember.
Let's fucking go. Well, Kate, I've been dabbling in the sub collections quite a lot. So I bought Oddities, and Moonbird Oddities. It's quite a cool play there because they've got their anniversary coming up soon for proof. So there's speculation that they're going to be doing something for that. And then I flipped it as well. So I think I bought 1.2, sold it for 1.5, literally the next day. And then I bought a Beans as well because Suzuki's pumping and did the same thing. Paid 1.5, sold it for 2. I'm keeping an eye on Sappy Seals. We're going to talk about them today. And there's a lot of others. Things are going nicely. It's good to see. So let's get straight into it, my brother. You're a little bit tall. I feel like I have to.
Am I?
You're a little bit tall. You need to come down a little bit. And I'm going to jump straight into it while you do that. I see that we've got Obi John. Welcome. First time here. We're glad to have you. Hope you enjoy it and hope you come back. We stream every Friday, same time, same place. Got Alex. Good to see you again, my brother.
Hey.
Welcome. All right. Market update. Nice to have some good news. I mean, it's looking really, really a lot better than it was. If we look at monthly volume that we saw in December, total of 283 million, up from November, which was 253 million. So far, we're 6 days into January and we've done 64 million. So if things continue like they are, we're on track to beat December as well. So maybe November was the bottom, maybe it wasn't, but definitely looking good as it stands now. If we look at OpenSea daily volume, is looking really, really good. I mean, this is a great looking chart over here. Yesterday, we did 15 million on OpenSea alone. And if you have a look, I mean, that is equivalent. The last time we did that was in October of 2022. So that's really, really great to see. And there wasn't any major mints yesterday that caused this. It's like not like we can put this down to, and we couldn't put that down to a specific mint. It's just volume is picking up, which is really great to see. Daily volume here in Ethereum looks very, very similar because the Ethereum price has been pretty solid lately, staying at about 1,200 to 1,300. And if we have a look in the last 24 hours, we've got a 16 million down OpenSea, Blur 13 million, X2Y2 just under 4 million, Magic Eden just under 4 million, Looks Rare 2.5 million, CryptoPunks alone 1.3 million, and Immutable X and others coming down. If we add that together, we get close to 40 million in the last 24 hours, which is almost triple what we were seeing middle of December before we had this, right? This recent pump. So we almost triple on a daily volume perspective than we were about 2 or 3 weeks ago, which is really good to see. If we just jump in here and have a look at the crypto market, been very, very flat on Ethereum and Bitcoin. However, we've seen Solana recover beautifully, $13.27, and they went all the way down to about 8. So that's almost a 60% increase in the last week or so, which is really good to see. And we've also seen ApeCoin bump quite nicely, even though staking has been launched and guys, you would think would be pulling out. At the moment, They aren't, but that's because there's a lot going on in the Yuga ecosystem, which we're going to chat about tonight. But very, very positive to see ApeCoin holding it, and they're sitting at around $4. If we have a look over here, at the stock market, the American stock market, S&P 500 and NASDAQ, we had a really good day today. Across the board, you'll struggle to see much red. We've got a little bit of red dots here and there. But looking here as far as technology goes and electronic technology, mostly green, really positive day today. So, yeah, things are looking up, Cade. Finally, things are looking up, bro.
Guys, if you're in the chat and you haven't clicked the like button for an NFT bull run, fam. We are in an NFT bull run. I'm calling it right now only because we're probably near our local top, just because everyone is saying bull run right now. But for everyone who's been here, who's OG, you guys know if we're in a bull run, Jesus Christ, hold on.
We're in a mini bull run, I would say.
No. We're in an NFT bull run. An NFT bull run only lasts 2 to 3 weeks. That's a thing. It's never lasted more than 2 to 3 weeks. Like, they're always short as fuck. I mean, maybe a couple of them lasted a month toward the end in the beginning of 2022. But like, in my experience, they only lasted a couple of weeks. Then we'd have another 2 weeks off, and then 2 weeks on, and 2 weeks off. Like, what do you think about that?
I think it's interesting. I don't think that that's always factual. Like, if we look back last year, the year before last year, 2021, we had a 2 or 3 month bull run. It was just constantly going up. However,
there were little breaks in there, right? Like little corrections in there.
What's interesting is that the other deed drop signaled the absolute top, and then everything went to shit. And now we've got Jimmy the Monkey trial coming up in about a week and a half. So, there's going to be more assets in the Yuga ecosystem. I don't know if that's a good thing. I personally think it's not. There's going to be a lot more assets in the ecosystem. There are going to be people who are going to make some money off that. And then we should see a bit of a trickle down into other NFTs from that. And then is that going to signal the local top again? And are we going to have another Yuga drop? Taking us, back to a bear market 2 weeks after it drops. The difference this time is obviously that this is a free mint for different holders, and we're going to look at it during the show. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But that does correlate with a 2 to 3 week mini bull that you are referring to. So who knows?
Crazy.
Bottom line, to be really serious, the bottom line about it is if we haven't learned by now from the bear market to take profits when you can, and to bank your wins when you can, if you can make half an ETH here, half an ETH there, cash out, get out, and then buy more into other ecosystems. And that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm not looking at this as the bottom and we're only going to go up from here. I think that, as Kate said, there's going to be dips and troughs. Obviously not financial advice. I don't have a crystal ball, but that's what I imagine. I imagine that there's going to be ups and downs, and you'll have opportunities to buy into other things. So I'm not buying anything hyped at the moment. I'm not buying into anything Yuga because the prices are just unbelievable, and we'll see some of them now. That's really driving the volume at the moment, the whole Yuga ecosystem. I mean, I don't know if you've seen, bro, but kennel dogs are 12 Ethereum. We'll talk about it right now. Mutants are 20. So now's not the time to buy Yuga. But I love Yuga, so I want to buy in at a later stage. But I'm buying stuff that's not pumping at the moment. So I've been packing my bags with Clone X stuff. I'm a big CloneX maxi. They've been very quiet at the moment. They obviously had that whole huge issue with their last drop, right? And we spoke about that in huge detail. There's lots of videos out on my channel about that. And I think now is a good time to buy into it if you're a long-term trader. So I've been doing that. And I'm looking at other collections that haven't yet pumped and saying, okay, do they have good teams? Do they have a great community? Does this have the ingredients for it to be the next Pudgy Penguins that went from 3 to 7, or the next Sappy Seals that went from half an ETH to 1.5 ETH? I think Sappy's still got space to run. I mean, I've liked Sappy Seals for a long time. So really interesting. Should we get into all the trending collections, KJ? You happy?
It's just interesting with Sappy Seals, specifically with Pudgy, because like Pudgy is leading the charge, obviously. Sappy is just getting to eat off the coattails of Pudgy Penguins, which is fine. And Sappy Seals kind of always been known as like a shit posting project, where like that's why they're so prevalent on Twitter, because so many shit posters are Sappy Seals. It just kind of depends on how long. Thanks, Alex. It depends how long Pudgy Penguins can run with this. If Pudgy Penguins cute meta ends, Sappy Seals cute meta will end. Like there's nothing that keeps Sappy Seals above water other than Pudgy Penguins in my head. Like I just don't know what else they've offered. I've done full reviews on Pudgy and Sappy. The only difference is like Pudgy Penguins has Luca Nets now, and I interviewed Luca the other day. He's a great dude. He's really fucking smart. But like I still don't know what happened. Like I don't know why exactly they mooned, and it's whatever. It's one of those things that like once the narrative takes, it takes, and now it catches like fire. And Sappy's just kind of riding off the coattails off that. But it feels like this bull run is pretty much predicated on when Pudgy Penguins starts to crash again, which some people think it won't. They think it'll just hold at 7 ETH. But
it's already pulled back a bit. We are going to we've got a segment on Pudgy and Sappy Seals.
Cool.
So we'll talk about it a little bit more. I see here that Obijan said Memeland just released their OpenSea link. Kate, if you could do me a favor, mate, and try and find that from their official Twitter, because that's one of the projects that we're going to be talking about, and I didn't have their official OpenSea link.
I got it.
And then send it to me in the private chat over here, so that I've got it. So, yeah, just go onto their official Twitter, and let's see what we can do. But, yeah, looking good. So let's jump into what's trending and see what's happening over here. So there's a lot trending, and that's great to see. But as mentioned, the Yuga ecosystem is number 1, 2, and 3 on the last 24 hours trending. We got Mutant Apes sitting just under 20 ETH. You got Bored Apes sitting at 84 Ethereum. Kennel Club sitting at 12.2 Ethereum. It's just incredible to see that,
bro. Kennel Dogs.
So obviously, they all got to do with Jimmy the Monkey trial, which we're going to look at. We got Goblin Town sitting at 1 Ethereum after there's been a lot of speculation about the collab there. We got Mutant Hound Collars sitting at 1.7 ETH. Nothing to do with Bored Ape Kennel Club, a separate project, but a really, really cool artwork on that one and a lot going on there. We've got Other Deed, also Yuga assets sitting at 1.55 Ethereum. The Memes by 6529, a great art project sitting at 0.2, and they were number 7 on the last 24 hours. We got Valhalla pulling back a bit, sitting at 1 Ethereum at the moment, or just over. Terraforms, another art project, sitting just under 4 Ethereum, and that's your top 10 currently. I always like to look at the same thing over here on OpenSea, because there are certain tokens that don't come up on the previous one, and here you can see CryptoPunks is actually number 1, but still another Yuga ecosystem asset. Everything else seems to be the same except base heads over here. Then we've got Other Deeds by Other Side, which we saw, Valhalla, the Memes, Terraforms. So yeah, looking pretty similar with the exception of CryptoPunks. And then if we have a look over here, Pudgy Penguins. So wanted to chat a bit about it. Obviously, we got Luca. He's been way out there. It will load shortly. OpenSea has been pretty buggy, so there might be a bit of a delay. So yeah, Pudgy Penguins looking strong still, 7 ETH or just under. They have pulled back. For those of you that don't know, I mean, Pudgy Penguins is an OG collection. They really were one of the great ones to have. And then there was a huge amount of FUD and bad decisions made. And then, about 3 months ago, Luca Metz took over, and he's really been good for them. He invested a huge amount of money to buy them. He's a very successful entrepreneur outside of this, and he's been very vocal lately and on a lot of spaces, doing a lot of content and YouTube shows and things like that. So we are seeing him out there. But I mean, even just looking in the last 24 hours, hasn't been many sales, and you can see it is due for a pullback. I mean, no way saying that this is a time to buy in, but it's usually that we see a pump and then we see like it come down slightly, then it sits there for a while, then it goes up again if it's going up, or goes down at that point. So this is all pretty normal. But the last 24 hours, there haven't been a huge amount of sales. There's been 2, 4, 6, 7. But what's interesting is that we've got one at 30 ETH and one at 17.5 ETH. So we're definitely seeing people who believe in the ecosystem buying the rares, which is always very, very bullish and a great thing to see. So yeah, man, they're doing well. I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due, and it's great to see an OG collection coming back. I know. And like for me, I really like that. What are your thoughts, my bro?
Well, dude, it just paints the blueprint on how to win. And I don't see why more NFT project founders aren't doing their fucking job and getting out there and talking. I don't get it. Like, why are they not doing it? Why is Dogepound, John Lemon, why are you out there on Spaces? Like, why isn't everyone on Spaces? This is clearly the meta. And I know it's like one of those things that a lot of these OG projects don't feel like they want to do, because a lot of them have founders that dropped the project from the beginning. Like Luca essentially is a fresh new face, which is why he hit the ground running. But if you're an OG project, chances are your project is probably tumbled. Like there are very few projects who have been able to maintain their stature from back in the day. In fact, I don't know if there is one. And the literal common denominator with all of them is none of them are active on Twitter. None of them. Subducks, Frankie's nowhere to be seen. Dogepound, John
Sneaky
Lemon,
Vampire.
nowhere to be seen. I don't even know that project. Like I have only heard of them, but they're not.
That was a great project.
Also, they're just not available on Twitter, bro. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? This is clearly the way through. It doesn't have to be a Spaces, but you have to be getting known out there. The people who are relevant right now are so past what we ever were at in the bull run. Like the only people I can think of with that level of like influence or even close to that was like an Alex Becker, where he would say something and things happen. We're at a point now where like those people are now Thread Guy, they're now Leap, they're now these new guys who are on Twitter Spaces doing these shows. And so for the OG people, content creators included, we gotta adjust the game a little bit. We gotta change a little bit. Like I've been watching shows, been taking notes, observing, been watching the Nifty Morning Show. Really been learning a lot there from P.O. The guy's a professional as fuck running a radio show. That's been cool.
I was a holder a long time, and I've always enjoyed their content. I've been doing the same. I've been joining Twitter Spaces left, right, and center. Benjamin, someone really who knows the Yuga ecosystem better than I think most people. I joined he did a space yesterday just out the blue, said he's going to do it more often. I joined that. And I agree with you. I think, you got to be active, and you've got to be on Twitter and on Discord and making a noise. And it's interesting because we're not seeing doodles. And, they've got so much going for them. And really, like, the only thing that's lacking is there's no communication, and it sort of comes off to me as being obnoxious. Like we're too big for our boots to have to come down into the trenches and be with the people. And I think that's a big mistake. If Doodle just had a great social media provider there handling it, they would be 2x where they are at the moment. And what's interesting is we've actually seen like Yuga and Bored Apes, they've realized that, and you see their founders trying their best to come out of it. They don't seem comfortable with it to me, which is funny to see. They don't seem comfortable with it, but at least they're trying. And we've seen them do, a whole lot of different shows and interviews. They were on Full Send and many others, and they've also launched their own YouTube channel where they host different NFT related content, not even related to Yuga. So even they've realized, right? And if anyone can say, oh, we don't need to come down in the trenches, it's Yuga, and even they are doing it. So I don't know what's up with Doodles. I hope they change their view on it. But I agree with you, Kate. You got to be out there. You got to be engaging, and also people follow their leaders, right? So if you're in an NFT project and you see that the founders of the project are tweeting and on Spaces, it tends to make the community do the same, and that's what you want to see, right? And we see that with Sappy Seals. Their community, as you said, is just like diehard, and we're going to talk about them. But I mean, yeah, I agree with you completely. I want to see this Captainz OpenSea. Let's jump into. Thank you.
It's
I did
weird.
get it. Thank you, Kate.
Weird.
It's not for sale yet, but they're starting to drop them.
Okay. Makes sense.
So mint was 2 days ago on the 4th. For those who don't know, like Memeland has been on the horizon for forever. They've been building this out for 8 or 9 months, even close to a year probably. The potatoes was their first, right? And that you needed 3 potatoes in order. Here's the Captainz. OpenSea is so buggy at the moment. I've been having problems.
It is. Okay, I thought that was just me.
No, it's not just you. It's been buggy the last couple of hours. So basically, they've got their OG collection where people paid a couple of ETH in Discord. It looked a bit dodge, and that one's doing incredibly well. Then you had your potatoes. You needed 3 potatoes in order to get guaranteed whitelist for the Captainz. Mint was on the 4th, but they're only dropping their collection effectively now, and it doesn't look like it's tradable yet. But here is the collection so far. Let's just refresh it and see. So already there's an offer there for 10 Ethereum, which is incredible to see. So mint price was 1069.
Wait. That's a 10 ETH offer. And are there people who have minted that are not taking that?
No, so I don't think these can be sold yet. So you minted, and they only seem to have started dropping them now. There's only 229 items so far, and it is possible that they locked, because it's not fair if they start dropping them for the guys who are. This is offers, not sales. It's not fair if some people who just get lucky and get dropped theirs first are able to trade. So I imagine they're going to drop all of them, send them out, and once all of them are out, they'll then open up for trading. But I mean, these are the offers that people have placed. You've got someone with a 10 ETH offer, 7.2 ETH, 5.5, 5.1. But, to some degree, I think it makes sense because MVP got you guaranteed 2 whitelist spots, and their floor price was sitting at about 30 Ethereum. So that's taking you to 15 ETH on average that people are expecting. And on top of that, people would have bought 3 potatoes. At the top, before the snapshot, they were 3 Ethereum each. That's 9 ETH. Then you'd have to pay 1 ETH in order to mint. So it does make sense that they'll come out the gate at 10 to 15 Ethereum. Mm-hmm. Where they settle is a completely different story. Where they finally settle, I don't know that 15 ETH is going to be sustainable. In my opinion, it probably won't. But who knows? But yeah, I do think fair value is 10 to 15, considering the amount you would have to invest in order to have gotten the whitelist for this project.
Oh fuck, dude! I completely missed the mark on that. Then, I saw NFT Nate posted. No. I saw NFT Nate post his reaction or his floor price prediction. I watched part of the video, but then I got distracted. I didn't finish the video, so I never saw his prediction. Same with Blockchain Gavin and 2 other YouTubers. Didn't actually see their prediction, so I have no idea going in. All I know is the minted 1 ETH, and all I know is that their other collections are high. And someone on Discord goes, "Okay, what's your prediction for the floor?" And I was like, "Man, it's got to be 3 to 5 ETH max." And I heard no response, and I'm gonna assume it's probably because I was so far off that he told me to go to hell.
Yeah. So
what do you think?
Yeah,
You think 10 ETH for real on a 10,000 collection? You think it's gonna hit 10 ETH? I just don't see that. Even with all this information, I still am wanting to stick with.
Look at the demand. You've got 15,500 people who were trying to mint, who had whitelists. So either had 3 potatoes as guaranteed, or had MVP or whatever. So 15,000 people wanted, and there's only 10,000 people. So if someone wanted, they bought 3 potatoes, they were willing to pay 10 ETH on it. There's 5,000 people who are going to want to buy on the secondary, and just from this, let alone outside of it. So I do think we do see a pump out the gate, a big pump. They're going to be airdropped tomorrow, so you'll see your full collection there, and then people can start trading them. I mean, that's crazy. It doesn't matter if it's a 20 WETH offer because it's only going to be tradable tomorrow. So this could also be, this could also be the team, eh? This could be the team trying to
I don't think it's the team, because that'd be kind of illegal, or I don't know if it'd be illegal, but that could be anyone bullish on Memeland just trying to pump it up before tomorrow.
Fine, the team or anyone bullish, knowing that it can't be traded right this second, trying to get prices up and things like that.
It's don't let him deter you. He's trying to deter you. Don't let him. He's going to keep talking and pretend like it's not him, but it's him. Don't listen, guys. Philip's the one leaving these offers.
I don't have 20 WETH, and I can prove it. I cashed out quite a lot of crypto at the end of last year. I still have, my Clone X and some nice NFTs, and 5 to 10 ETH sitting there ready to deploy. But yeah, I think that we've got to see what this year brings. The macro is still looking really, really hopeless, and we can't just all get so bullish and think that it's over. At the same time, there are huge opportunities. So if you know what you're doing and you're careful and you're buying into good projects, then you're looking good. But I mean, this for me is great. It's good to see a project that has really taken their time. Potatoes have just been rising and rising since they came out. Captainz are now coming. Going to be interesting what happens to the potatoes floor. I do know that they've said there's going to be a huge amount of utility for potatoes going forward.
Really?
So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what they end up doing with this whole ecosystem. You see, so they're saying here that the potatoes are your portal to Memeland and also your best companion. This is outdated, but I did see a whole tweet thread from them and they basically literally said, if you think that the only utility for potatoes is whitelist for the Captainz, you've got another thing coming. You need your potatoes. And this is the MVP collection that we were talking about. Here you can see, this is what people who really bought in really early to this, guaranteed 2 mints if you bought this. It is deceptive here because 44 ETH, no one's buying it at, but people are buying at 27, 36, 32, 32, 30, 31, 29, 29.
Wow.
So you can say, and not a huge amount of sales. I mean, obviously, people aren't going to buy now because the mint has already happened. So again, going to be interesting to see what happens to this floor price. But on average, people were paying 30 ETH in order to get 2 guaranteed mints of the Captainz.
This is going to be cool because for after this whole debacle ends, I imagine the floor will crash pretty tremendously on this project, but it'll be one of those where half the people say, oh, this is a great opportunity to buy in while it's cheap again. But it's like, okay, what are they going to deliver next that would give such utility and such money price running up again? Like, in the sense that, do we have to start looking at NFT projects differently as they move into phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, rather than watching collections continuously do phase 1 and phase 2 over and over again, like watching projects do their thing, do a couple things for a few months, and then drop another collection, do a few things for a few months, drop another collection. But like after those initial drops, kind of like with Bored Ape Yacht Club, at what point do you have just too many things being dropped and they're like just not as much value? Kind of like Psychedelic Anonymous. I feel like they dropped a collection or two too many, and now we're at a point where, like, what is the utility of holding it? And then we've kind of seen the floor crash because of that. And then is that even good or bad? Like, do the NFTs have to hold these exorbitant high floor prices in order to garner respect or garner FOMO to be in the community? Like, what can we get to want to be in the community if there's nothing to look forward to? You know how you said, like, once Doodles drops their announcements, then everything crashes because there's something to look forward to. There's no reason to hold it. And that's going to be what's interesting about watching NFT projects move in their phase 3, phase 4, because now it's like, okay, it's a different game. It isn't a game of like hot potato anymore. It's a different style of game. And I'm interested to see how people use that and how people navigate the world with that.
100%. So just one thing that Obijuan did say is MVP means you were airdropped 2 free Captainz, you didn't actually have to mint them.
Wow.
Right?
That's
so
wild.
you wouldn't have to pay the 1 ETH in order to mint them. It wasn't whitelisted with that. Other thing that he mentioned, and it is true, it's a very gamified reveal. It's going to take weeks and weeks to properly reveal, and you know, there's a lot to do. So they're definitely trying a lot of different things here. Even the way the potatoes evolved and their whole way of doing it is completely unique in the space. You know, their team is very notable, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I saw a comment from Degods, our good friend. Happy New Year. What's happening? Yes, we all going to make it. So good to see you, my brother. Happy New Year. Happy
Phil,
New
what's
Year.
going to happen if we just don't come back? What if we just are in a bull run for the next year? Could you fucking imagine? We just go straight back into, like, it would be like living in a fever dream. I'd be so confused. I'd be like, wait, really? Is this really happening? Like, are we really in a bull run? Can I start making top 5 NFT project videos again? Like, are people going to watch this shit?
Yeah, I mean, I would love that.
Do you have Twitter Blue?
Hey, no, you can't get it in South Africa yet.
Oh my God, I was going to say, if you have Twitter Blue, you can start uploading videos. You can start uploading full YouTube videos now on Twitter as a video.
Can't get it yet.
Yeah.
This is hilarious. Degods is saying not enough fanny packs from collections at Dig at Moonbirds. Very good to see. 100%. All right. So we spoke about Memeland. Really interesting. I'm going to be glued to my screen tomorrow watching what's going on over there. It's going to be really, really interesting to see the activity and what happens. Can't wait for that. Let's jump straight into Proof ecosystem. Everyone knows my feeling on Proof. You know, I was a big fan, and Kevin Rose is definitely a builder in the space. Look up to him. Also a Web2 native, and a lot of success from that perspective. However, when he went CCO, I was incredibly pissed off. I was a Moonbird holder, and you know, on their website, it clearly said that they were not CCO, that they were yours and you could do what you want with them, and they were protected. And then unilaterally, he went and did that. He's since back a little bit from Proof. I mean, he's still completely involved like he was, but he's not putting himself out there as much. But there was a Spaces that I heard about the other day where he said, no, it's time to put himself out there, and he's going to do what he thinks is right. He admits that they were wrong about the way they handled CCO, not about going CCO. So the first thing that's been happening is that the Grails have been announced. And as I said, there is still, you know, the anniversary coming up here. And I do think that Proof is going to start coming out with some announcements. And that's why I bought that oddity. You know, I don't really want to spend 9 ETH or whatever it is at the moment to get into the main collection. I'm still a bit hurt from the CCO debacle. However, I did see it as an opportunity, because if it's always good when the main collection is pumping, and then the secondary collection follows. There's usually a lag. So if you're seeing main collections pump and it's an inner ecosystem which has secondary collections, it's always good. So I saw that the birds went from about 6.5, 7 ETH all the way to 9.5. I bought an oddities, quickly flipped it. I'm looking to buy again because I do think that they're going to do something. So they've got the Grails coming on the 17th of Jan, which is about 11 days away. And that's really interesting. Always great artists coming out there. All holders get an airdrop to them. Yeah, they've also, you know, come out here. They had this video which I wanted to show you. So that's pretty much it. So always different artists, obviously random. And if you get one of the, you know, bigger artists in the collection, you're always in the money, like big time. So a bit of a lottery, bit gamified, really good to see. And again here, 20 artists, 20 pieces of art, choose wisely. And you can see here, they're slowly showing you different ones. So yeah, man, that's what they're doing. But definitely one, as I said, that has been quiet. And I do think after the Grails, we will start to see stuff come out from them. And yeah, it's going to be good. They've got the anniversary coming up. I'm keeping a close eye on them. I do think that there's opportunities to get in and get out and get in and get out, right?
Yeah, I would assume so. I don't got too much to say on that
sure.
though.
Alrighty, so let's jump into Yuga. Yuga has released the prophecy. Okay, so they did this video about Jimmy the Monkey. Let's have a look at that one before we start the trial of Jimmy the Monkey. Let's look at it and then let's discuss it afterwards instead of discussing it before. So let's get it going here. Okay, that shouldn't be happening.
Damn, Phil's getting rugged, guys. Phil's getting rugged. 2023 said, nah, fam. You left me in the last 3 weeks.
Come on. There you go. Nah, let's. The thing is, you actually can't pause it. I'll do a refresh.
Do you want me to pull up on my phone or something?
Nah, if we can't get to it, we'll play it afterwards and we'll talk about it first. It was working perfectly. Yeah, no, definitely getting rugged at the moment, guys.
Damn.
All right, so we got the trial of Jimmy the Monkey. They played this video. I thought it was in bad taste, to be quite honest. They're moving to this professional. I think that shows you everything you need to know. This professional Web2 company with all these different divisions and things like that. I get it. They started with their main thing being, writing on toilet walls and things like that. I do get it. But in the end of the day, things have changed. No, I'm going to stop trying because it's just...
Dude, honestly, I've never been a ultra long-term believer in Bored Apes. I'm a long-term believer in Bored Apes, but I'm not fully sold on this being the project and the holy grail forever. I just think that there are other projects that are way, way better that will stand the test of time. I just think that the only thing I think that would keep this ecosystem alive is the fact that people have spent so many millions of dollars already. And I just don't think they have the brand to survive, dude. I feel like Mutant Apes is 10 times stronger than the Bored Apes as far as branding, because so many people use Mutant Apes on Twitter and are shit posters or something like that, or they have a show or whatever. And I just don't see that same brand with Bored Apes. I just feel like it's only mutants that have that kind of shit posting aura around them. I feel like Bored Apes just nobody cares. I don't care if I see a Bored Ape because I don't even think they're real most of the time. I think they're fake. But mutants,
Bored Apes are the ultimate flex. They're out of reach for most people. Even mutants are out of reach for most people. However, anyone who's ever faded Yuga has eaten their words, including me. I thought with the staking coming out that ApeCoin was going to drop in price. I didn't think it was sustainable, so much so that I sold my mutant and my ApeCoin just before staking started because I thought that was the local top, because typically before events like this, the assets run and then straight after they drop. And I was wrong. So far, I mean, it remains to be seen what happens, but so far I was wrong because ApeCoin has held pretty steady, and the floor on the assets have just continued to rise. And anytime I've faded Yuga, I've been wrong, and that I've learned not to fade them. And I do think that they need to choose their next steps wisely in every ecosystem that they manage. But if they do so, they will hold the spot. My biggest concern at this point is the dilution of assets, right? Because now we're getting another collection that's coming out. I think it's what did I say here? January the 11th, yeah. And they're saying, is prepared to mint. Multi-week interactive mint. Okay, the 18th of Jan was what it was. Then revealed in February the 8th. The story continues. So look, I don't know how many more times their main source of income can be them just dropping new collections without the main collections losing value. And you're going to see, I can guarantee you, if I was holding mutants now, I would sell them before the snapshot, before the mint, because whatever they get up to, they are going to go down more than the value of the new asset after the mint, which we've seen numerous times.
I mean, they could be attacking this like a Pokemon, where 99% of the assets are a waste, or not a waste, but they're more for like free to own, free to play, and then there's a very, very, very small amount of Pokemon cards that are worth anything, and that would be, I guess, the board and the Bored Apes, Mutant Apes, and the Kennel Club. That potentially could be it. These could be more of like a gamified thing for other people to get in for free or very cheap. What do you think?
But it's only holders. It's only holders that can get in for free. So of their different assets.
Okay.
So it's not open to the public. Yeah. Here's, I think, let's try it over here. It might have been their website bugging because the connection on my side is perfect. I'm worried about copyright, so I'm just going to take the sound off.
What the fuck?
I mean,
what is going on, bro?
You definitely got to take some acid before watching this. Not that I do that, or not drug advice. I'm not your drug dealer.
Oh my god, this is funny.
But it's
Oh,
What's
god.
interesting, 10KTF is known for their storytelling. It does seem that influence is coming in over here. On the other side, they're not taking themselves too seriously, which I guess is refreshing. I mean, I love the Yuga ecosystem. I've made a lot of money off the ecosystem. So I can't say anything bad about it. But this isn't what I expected for their Jimmy trial.
This is actually kind of funny. Bro,
okay, the key is being shut out his intestines.
Oh, dude, my dad had kidney stones. I feel like that's what it feels like.
Yeah, my dad also used to get kidney stones.
I'm scared I'm gonna have to get them. Do you ever have them?
I've never had them. I'm also scared.
Okay.
Apparently, it's as sore as like natural childbirth. Oh my god, there's his anus. All right.
You know what? I take it back. I take it back, Bored Apes. I'm sorry. That was funny. I'm actually kind of intrigued, and I actually liked it. Sorry.
So yeah, on the one side, they're not taking themselves too seriously. On the other side, maybe you expect more from a company valued at $5 billion. Who knows? But yeah, so you got Child of Jimmy the Monkey, and then you come in here and you've got this box. And the key that you're going to get is going to open the box. And you got your new dog Prophet over here. And he's going to help you. He's like your oracle, your guard. And it's all gamified in order to do some puzzles and things to work out exactly what's going on over here, right? So yeah, they're good with this. They really are. They always have been. I mean, from the beginning, there was always gamification in the ecosystem. Very, very interesting. Very interesting to see. I'm going to be interesting to see what the drop is. If you own a Bored Ape and a mutant and the other deed, you get the best type. If you own, and a dog. If you own a mutant and a dog and the other deed, and there's 4 different tiers of it. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to see how they going about it. Yeah, they're talking about Mecha Monkey versus Mecha Dog. We always saw that on the roadmap, that there was this trial of Jimmy the Monkey. So yeah, bro, I'm interested to see what happens. But I do think a lot of the bull market that we're seeing at the moment has been led by Yuga price increase, which has trickled down across the board, right? So yeah, it's very interesting. Again, you're seeing Bored Apes up 13% in the last week, Mutants up 25% in the last week, Kennel Club up 50% in the last week, and other deeds up 15% in the last week alone.
Bro, I'm trying to see some Bored Ape Kennel Clubs in the show. I want to see them do anything with these dogs, bro. I just want to see anything. Like nobody can tell me they're interested in these dogs except for speculation. Like I want to see some videos of these fucking dogs being cute on screen. It's been too long, dude. It's been too long. How have they not incorporated them yet?
And how many times, Kate, in the last 2 months have I said we should be buying Kennel Club, we should be buying Kennel Club, we should be buying Kennel Club? We knew this was coming. I've said it a million times.
You sold it. But you
I sold
your
it.
Club, though.
Yeah, I sold it. Yeah.
This is why this is not financial advice, because we don't even take our own advice, guys.
I got scared. I got scared when the SEC started coming after them and all the rest of that. So
That's
yeah,
why this is a
I
gambling world,
sold.
bro. Nobody knows what they're doing. We're just guessing.
Speaking of gambling, do you think that Sappy Seals is going to continue increasing in price? Uh, I've got my feelings on it. Do you have any feelings on it?
I don't know if I know enough about what they're doing. I did hear about this meme machine, and I do like it. I think the only thing I'm scared about is when everything's tied to a floor. There's gonna get a point where they simply just aren't gonna be able to deliver the amount of value that's equal to how much it costs to get in. So everything will always inevitably fall back on how strong their brand is. Sappy Seals has got a strong brand. I do think that they're still, regardless, I feel like they're always going to ride off the coattails of Pudgy, and that would be a hard position to be in because you're in the shadows. But if they start to moon and their floor starts to become close to Pudgy, I guess they could get out of the limelight and have their own spotlight. This is cool. This is a great start, though, to get out of the limelight or to get out of the shadow of Pudgy to launch something really fucking dope. Like, I really like this because I have seen a lot of funny memes that come from Sappy.
For sure. So look, my feeling is slightly different. I feel that Sappy Seals is, and again, really not financial advice, but I feel that they are hugely undervalued. They've been building their game out for the last 12 months. They've got one of the nicest and strongest communities in the space. And they have got collabs and relationships with other OG projects that are second to none. And they really, really, I mean, like a lot of good projects have been really undervalued, but I personally am really watching this carefully. It's already had a bit of a run. I mean, it's gone a huge
Basically
run
a
from
2x.
at 2x. That's
Yeah.
what stopped me from putting the trigger, but it could 2x again and 2x again. It could go to zero. No one knows. However, I do think that this has been undervalued for a long time. The thing that stopped me from putting the trigger on it for so long is everything's been, in my opinion, very undervalued. Not everything, but there's been a lot of projects that I look at. I think that's undervalued. I mean, even now, Clone X, I feel is hugely undervalued. So are we going to sit undervalued for the next 2 years and I'm going to have a PFP, or is this the beginning of it all coming right? OpenSea is giving me such shit today, so who knows? But I'm a big fan of this community, of the team, and I think that they still. I mean, and what am I basing it on? I'm saying if Pudgy's is 7, then these guys are undervalued. So basing it on that, if Pudgy's dropped to 3, then these guys aren't that undervalued, right? So hard to know.
That's why I
but
say it always rides on Pudgy, which is a problem for Sappy Seals because they can't succeed without Pudgy succeeding, in my opinion. I just don't think they have. I just don't think they have that level of influence yet. Like they don't have a Luca. You like pretty much need a Luca or Frank to lead the charge to be at that level of project right now. There just aren't other projects that are at that level, at that floor price and value that the founders aren't going out and doing things and being more like Wob ETH, whatever, the founder. He's active, but like he's not that he's not like known like that because I'm not sure why. Like maybe it's because he's not fully doxxed or something like that. Like I feel like people know what Frank looks like, they know what Luca looks like, and it's a bit different. They're both tall, like dudes. So it's like a classic leader position, like a tall, I don't even know what the word would be, like a masculine dude or whatever.
I just think they're not as well known, like you're saying, and it does need someone front and center. I agree with you, but everything else is there. Everything else is there, and they've been continually building. And yeah, I mean, as I say, I think it's really interesting. And what they're doing here is revolutionary. They're doing an AI drop. I mean, it's going to be memes. I wonder, generative AI. We've seen that with art, but we haven't really seen it with PFPs. I don't know of any other generative AI PFPs, and it's just typical of Sappy Seals in that they're on their own path, and they have been. And they just continue doing what, and they have strong belief in what they're doing. So I'm bullish on them. I'm watching it because they've gone up so much so quickly, like 2x in the last week, that obviously everyone in hindsight can kick themselves, including me, for not seeing that it was going to happen now. But I have been thinking for a very long time that Sappy Seals are undervalued. They're going to blow up. They're going to blow up. They're going to blow up. So yeah, I'm interested, bro. I'm interested to see what this new drop is. Maybe the thing to do is once this is dropped, assuming like all secondary collections that it's a lot under the main collection, is to maybe get one or two of these to get into the ecosystem. That's probably a better play because you're lowering your risk. Instead of your risk being 1.6 ETH, your risk will be whatever the floor price on this meme machine airdrop is, right? The soul-bound one once the holders start selling.
True.
Yeah, interesting one. All right, so then, in no particular order, but this is interesting. I wanted to just discuss it with you, Kate, get your feeling. Sartoshi comes back. What do you think?
This is the founder of Mfers.
Yeah.
Bro, I got no thoughts. I literally don't know anything about this world, about that part of the world.
Okay, so
I have no clue.
All right, so Sartoshi was huge on Twitter and very active and launched MFers and then launched the secondary collection, which was like mutant MFers. I forget what they were called, but I did trade them heavily and did really well on them.
Wait. There's a mutant MFers project?
Yeah, but it wasn't called that, but it was like, I traded the shit out of them. They all had like crazy hair.
Okay, I want one. I didn't know that.
I must try to find it. Then, so he was big on Twitter, bro. Like he was the first NFT project not to have a Discord and sort of community run in a way, but he was always there. And then he did his final collection, which no one knew was his final collection, but it was called The End of Sartoshi. And no one really knew that he was going to be going away from that. Dropped bloody as many as people would mint, which ended up being 16,997, and then deleted his Twitter account. Now, that's the background. That happened about 8 or 9 months ago. So he basically left all of us at the beginning of the bear market and didn't say a word. He handed over the keys to the End of Sartoshi project to the community. I don't know exactly what the deal was there, but now all of a sudden he's back. So we have Sartoshi RIP, rest in peace. I'm wondering if it is him or not. I'm waiting for a blue tick.
He doesn't have that many followers. You said he was huge on Twitter?
He was before that. He deleted his Sartoshi account.
Oh, he deleted it. Okay,
recently, yeah, he's recently come back under Sartoshi, rest in peace. In one day, about a month ago, when he came back, I saw 30 of the people that I'm following follow him in one day. And remember, I'm only following 300 and something people. So that, and they all high level guys in the space for the most part. So he's back. I'm waiting for a blue tick. Even if he gets a blue tick, doesn't mean it's actually him. But the general consensus seems to be that it is him, and he's received a very mixed sort of comeback, right? Some people are very angry with him because he pretty much rugged and is now coming back. A lot of people are saying that because there's been so much prosecution in rugs, maybe he got scared and thought he needs to come back. He posted this tweet and he said, look, this was from my old account, satoshi.eth, and it clearly says there, see you in the new year. So this was his last message when he left. Love you, MFers. Whether you got an MF or not, we all MFers. See you in the new year. So he's saying that this was always his intention. So a lot of people are calling him out. A lot of people are not happy that he left. And yeah, interesting.
Bro, I'm trying to find the fucking MFers mutants. That's all I want. What's it called?
Okay, so here's the MFers. The mutant ones are something completely different. Hold on.
And I can't find their Twitter either. Like, I don't know where anything is.
Okay, so MFers, I just want to show you the price action.
Yeah.
So it's sitting at 1.4 ETH, and here's the top here was 4.6, right? But ETH was 4.6. Yeah, I do remember being 5 or 6 ETH. But that was when ETH was 3,000. And then November, we were sitting at 1 ETH. So it's had about a 50% increase. The one that's had a big increase, because obviously a cheaper entry level one, is the end of Satoshi. That 16,000 collection, which is now 0.7 ETH. And it was down at like 0.1, bro. I'm waiting for OpenSea's rugging. Obviously, the first show that we come back, we got OpenSea rugging us.
Well, I'm jumping into their Discord, and I just want to find their links, and I'm just gonna find it there. I hope it's there. If not, that would be weird. All right, here we go.
You'll definitely be able to find that
collection.
Yeah,
Sartoshi. We have. Oh man, why are there so many collections? Jesus. Okay, there are what are MFers? We have official mint, official NFT. Dude, I don't see anything about it. I see the Crazies collection. Is it that?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
it is Crazies.
I loved it. Yeah, it's spelled, Crazies for sure.
It's spelled different. It's spelled CREY.
Yeah. Z.
CREYZIES. 0.05 ETH floor.
So they're all sitting at desks, and it looks like they're electrocuted. I love the art on these. Absolutely love the art on these.
Dude, these would run if and when MFers pump inevitably again because they're so strong online. This is absolutely a fucking play. These are so cheap.
Yeah, I mean, I was buying rares like at Mint. I was buying, flipping. They are so cool. I love them. I really do like the artwork. Yeah, however, I'm very bitter with Sartoshi, bro. I don't know if I want anything to do with the guy. I mean, he literally disappeared for 8 months, and like after making an absolute bag.
But like some projects, dude, like I just feel like some projects people just don't as much care. Actually, I don't know. Like you know how we were just talking about how project founders are the one pumping the project, like it's Frank. That's why people buy Degods. And like some projects are very tied to the founder. But then projects like MFers, I feel like, I don't know, at least from someone on the outside looking in, I didn't really care or know about the founder. Their community is just so strong online that they just kind of do it on their own. But they're never going to get to that level of prominence without the founder being like ultra respected, I think. But they've done a great job, I think. Same with Sappy Seals holding that brand.
But he never ever doxed himself. It was always the community running the project. And times have changed now. Times are not the same like they were in 2020, early 2021, where everyone was undoxed. You know, I don't know. This is his thread on it. This is what he's saying. So this is from him, a Mirror article, apparently or allegedly from him, giving a bit of a background. Some MFers floated the idea that MFers was truly a leaderless, decentralized level. Satoshi should disappear into the ether, right? That was a fascinating concept, but the idea of giving up everything after all that time wasn't something I was seriously considering. As that idea resurfaced more, however, I began thinking that it would be a powerful event to leave it all and transfer the MFers smart contract to the community, handing over the authority regarding MFers. And if Satoshi was going to disappear and no longer create crypto art, I thought it fitting to create a final piece called The End of Satoshi for anyone who wanted the final artwork. I call absolute bullshit. He wanted to make as much money as he possibly could, in my opinion, right? Goes on to say the spirit of Satoshi lives on. View this event not as a powerful transition, but simply as an abandonment of the NFT community. Some expressed the sense that Satoshi isn't really part of us because he's gone. That was never the idea. So on New Year's Day 2023, I'll be starting Satoshi_RIP, and I'll be entering Twitter like Satoshi did the first time as a collector of crypto art. To that end, I plan to have the End of Satoshi artwork serve as an ongoing pass for holders to obtain free claims to crypto art from great crypto artists, and the MFers smart contract will remain community owned. I have no authority over it. Side note about these mirror posts, it appears the mirror now requires that published posts like this are minted to optimism by default. There is no hidden meaning in these mirror posts, have those features. I guess they changed since my earlier post. Yes, man, because you've been gone for 9 months. There's now something called the internet and cell phones. You've been gone so long. The world's changed, my friend. It's going to be interesting.
Is that MFer right there below the mutant looking one? Is that part of their original collection? The green one?
So that was a secondary collection. The first one was MFers, then they had Crazies dropped, and then
hold on. I'm not looking at the same thing that you are then, because Crazies look way different on my screen. Show me the Crazies.
No, this
or
is
show me.
MFers. I closed the crazies. I'll open it again.
What?
So they were airdropped, bro. They were
Wait,
airdropped
but they don't.
to.
No. But that doesn't look anything like the one I just saw. These
Hold
look
on,
like
bro.
fucking Mexican party, like, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't look
These are
anything
the
like the one we just saw.
crazies. Yeah.
Right, but what did I just see on the other website?
These are
That was the normal
MFers.
MFer, the green one at the
Yeah.
bottom that looks like a mutant. That's a normal MFer then.
These are all normal ones. Yeah.
No. The one that we just saw on the other website that you were
I've
showing
closed.
us, there was a
I closed that
right.
mirror on
I'm just saying,
already.
but that green one that we saw is from the normal collection.
I didn't take note of it, so I can't answer, but I think it must be because all the
Right.
crazies look like this. They've all got these different backgrounds over here, and they all look like they've been electrocuted, and some of them have got really, really sick hair.
Yeah, true.
So look, I think End of Satoshi could be, it could be a good play, depending on whether this RIP Satoshi is or is not legit, and whether he's going to leave again and just do cash grabs. No one knows, but yeah, I mean, he did deliver value in the beginning, in that his collection that he launched in 2021 is sitting at still 1.5 Ethereum, right?
Yeah, that is crazy to me, but they are definitely prominent on Twitter. Which, by the
And I
way,
see
is
we got
everything right now
Ziggy in the
bear run.
house.
Hey.
Yeah, for sure. Ziggy, long time, my friend. Happy New Year. Yeah, you're in the right place. All the latest and greatest infos here. Gonna show you everything. All right, so let's go back over here. Next one, we've got Degods, Yoots, and Dust moving off Solana. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, this happened when we were away, when I was away. But I think it's massive news. They haven't moved off yet. However, they are moving off. You've got Degods moving onto Ethereum, Yoots onto Polygon. Apparently, there's some deal there that he got paid a couple of $1 million to move onto Polygon. Some FUD about that. Frank is just saying, look, in the end of the day, that's money that we're going to use to build, not money going into my pocket. He also said that wasn't the highest offer that they got, $2 or $3 million from Polygon. They got higher offers from other blockchains, but they, feel that it's a win-win for Yoots and Polygon to do this together. That Polygon needed a sustainable diamond-handed NFT collection, which they haven't had, even though they've had big names, and that it can do what they need it to do for them. And from Polygon side, from Frank's side, it can gamify the way he wants to gamify the Yoots. He's had a lot of backlash from the Solana community, obviously, because some people feel abandoned. In the end of the day, he feels that it's a calculated risk and in the best interest of Degods to be on Ethereum. He made this decision when Solana was really, really crashing bad and sitting at $8 or $9. Wonder how he feels now with what's happened. I think this is a big loss to Solana. I really do, to the Solana NFT ecosystem. I really do think it's a big loss. But that's big news that's happened in the last couple of weeks. This was weird, Kate. I don't know if you saw how he announced it, but this was really freaking strange.
Thank you. The support from this community has meant the world to us. Thank you for putting us on the map. We could not have done any of this without you. We've come to the realization that in order to grow, we need to explore new opportunities. We believe that now is the time to take a calculated risk and embark on a new journey. After all, the biggest risk is not taking one. So that's why today we are excited to announce that Degods, Yoots, and Dust will be bridging onto new blockchains. Yoots will be moving to Polygon, Degods to Ethereum, and Dust will be bridged to both Polygon and Ethereum. The bridges will be live in late Q1 2023. You thought I forgot about the points? You will be able to spend your points on minting NFTs that go through our brand new NFT Accelerator Launchpad program. More details on how to apply in January. And the roadmaps are coming early January. Oh, and Merry Christmas. Thank you.
I don't know, bro. It just seems like a very basic
Thank you for putting us on the map.
Video project to me. I mean,
I think when you're an established businessman, and I've been doing business for the last couple of years, and I also am a content creator. What I do know is they're doing everything right, in the sense that like this is a good move, and they're doing the accelerator program, which is good because a lot of projects are doing it. I just think that Degods and Frank are very, very aware of where they sit on the spectrum of NFT land, and where what position they hold on the market, essentially. And I think that they know that A, they can do whatever they want, but B, because they can do whatever they want, all they have to do is just tie in a little bit of storytelling, and it seems like this whole, this whole new journey, but it's like, where all they're doing is just bridging to another blockchain, because it's a better business decision to not be on Solana, which I agree with. I wouldn't want to be on Solana either. I would want to I was hoping they would bridge to ETH. I always thought it was a good idea. I remember people were talking about this for a while. There was some speculation. I guess there was some leaks or something, and people were talking about it. But the way he's doing it right here, I think is the right way to do it. But I think people who are in the know are like chuckling a little bit, because I feel like I could see what the internal conversations were versus what they actually put out to the public, and how they worded it. They're really, really good. Especially Frank is really, really good at wording stuff. Like when he drops these transparency update things, like he did in the last few months a couple times, where they like basically doxed everything they've done for like every single day for like an entire year. And like the way they word stuff to make it, like when he dropped some big announcement, there's a lot of FUD. He basically came out with this whole newsletter where he basically answered all the main questions, but the way he asked and answered the questions in the actual like document was so specifically curated to make it so you couldn't be mad at Frank. You like wanted to empathize with him throughout the read. And they're master marketers, bro. They're fucking good at this shit. But I think to anyone who works in the marketing and business world, we kind of get the game. So it's a little bit different at least for me, it's a bit different.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I've never been a Solana maxi. I just know that if Bored Apes left ETH and went to any other chain, let's just say hypothetically there was another chain that was started doing really well, and I would feel like they let us down and I want nothing to do with them. So from a Solana community side, I understand a lot of Solana guys not like being hurt by it. The fact that I'm an ETH maxi and they're coming to ETH, I'll be watching it closely. I do think that Frank has done a lot right. I do think that he is really well spoken, and he's grounded when he talks. He's got his feet on the ground. It makes a lot of sense. He's really good a communicator, and yeah, I'm interested to see what happens. But I do sympathize with the Solana community at large, even if they weren't holders, because it's a big loss to Solana, bro. Big loss.
It's a big loss. I think Frank is very aware that everyone that is in his community is like, it's a degen. He's like in charge of the degens. He's like king of the degens. Frank is king of the degens, guys. Because he's the king of the degens, because he knows he's the king of the degens, he knows so many people who bought in are straight, like to the core, they are degenerates. Like that is kind of the brand there, which is great. And it's funny, but because that's true, he knows that all he has to do is word things a little bit differently to make it sound like, oh man, you know what? He is right. Like I just remember like the way he worded stuff on a couple of documents. I was like, it was something like, I see people asking this question, and I'm like, they're not asking that question. You're just asking that question, and now they're thinking, oh yeah, I do think that question. And then you're answering in a way where it makes everything sound perfectly wrapped. And I was like, bro, some people can see through that. Some people can't, because they see what they want to see, and they're like, oh man, Frank's gonna fucking take us to the moon. For me, dude, it looks better than average, like all the things they've done. But I would say that the thing that's made them get this legendary level is just the fact that it took onto Twitter. And so because of that, that's master marketing. So you have to hand it to Degods, have to hand it to Frank.
Look,
because they do understand.
I must be honest, like he's definitely the talk of the town at the moment. But I will say that there've been some silly decisions made. When they rashly said they're going to zero royalties and then went back on that. I just think that they're very inexperienced. I think they're a small team. However, with that said, to be able to raise $3 million from a blockchain in order to move there, I mean, we always talk that royalties are not sustainable as your only revenue source as an NFT project. We always say that, especially because of the bear market. We saw that. And here this guy's raised another $3 million on top of other raises that have happened before just to move. I mean, in the end of the day, there are not many projects that can raise even $300,000 outside of the NFT sales and royalties. So yeah, he's definitely done some things right. It's interesting. I'm watching the space, interested to see what happens. Very bold move. I mean, either way, regardless of how it pans out, a very bold move. He's gone from being one of the biggest on a small on a small NFT marketplace, one of the biggest on a small NFT marketplace, to one of the smaller ones on a big NFT marketplace. And there's that age-old question, right? Would you rather be, top of your field in a small industry, or, bottom of the field in a massive industry, or have a small percentage in a company that's a huge company, or have a, full ownership of a tiny company? And I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer, but he's definitely bold because he's going from where they're kings to where they are less so.
No.
There's board apes,
bro. No. I know what you mean, like the floor price. I know you mean the floor price. But dude, Frank,
he's now coming to the big fish. He's coming to the Shark Tank.
Frank and Degods' actual brand is 12. Not 12. I don't know why I picked 12. Is 20 times stronger than Proof's actual Twitter influence, and therefore Web3 and NFT influence. If there's a Proof Collective party at Art Basel 2023 and there's a Degods party, oh my God, it's going to be embarrassing for how many people don't go to the Proof Collective.
Well, none of the Solana guys are going to come anymore. None of the Solana maxis who are only on Solana
are coming to that party anymore. To get to Art Basel.
Okay. Anyway, interesting to see. All I'm saying is that he's definitely not the biggest on ETH, and he's not going to be. There's still Yuga. There's still some big collections out there. A lot of notable collections. It's going to be interesting to see.
It's true.
What I'm saying, it's going to be interesting to see where they price in, where they slot in. What is their floor price going to be on launch? Where's it going to settle? Where are they going to fit on the Ethereum blockchain? They are not going to be top of the totem pole. That's a fact. I'm not saying they're going to be bottom. I'm just saying he's going from where they top to where he's not going to be. But I think he's in it for the long run, and I think that he intends on trying to work his way up the ladder on any ecosystem. So it's interesting. I'm interested to see what happens. I don't have any particular thoughts about it.
I like, and I am rooting for Frank. I think he's dope. I think they're all dope. I've stopped. I think this is me trying to stop putting other people on pedestals like they're fucking just have figured everything out. They know they're really that good. I just kind of stopped thinking that because I've met so many people who have made amazing decisions. And then when you like boil it down to like what actually happened or how it actually came to be, you're like, oh, it wasn't some magic fucking thing where they waved a wand and like, all this stuff happened and they're God's gift to humanity. They're just a normal person. They just happen to be really good at a couple things. He's a master marketer. He really understands promotion. Like he really gets this shit, dude. He's very, very self-aware. That's a really.
That's what I'm. Hold on. That's what I'm saying. He is a master marketer to the Solana target market. Whether or not that same approach works when you're playing in the field of Ethereum, I don't know. So if you look at his video and then look at the video that Yuga just released or CloneX just released, or I can name 20, he's playing now in a big pond with sharks. It's different. So it's going to, what worked on Solana is not necessarily going to work on Ethereum as far as marketing goes. So that's why it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see. Is he going to change his approach, or is it going to stay the same approach? And how's the Ethereum community going to adopt that? The nice thing is the NFT space is small. So even though I don't buy things on Solana or much, I bought an OK Bear, which you know about. Even though I don't, I know Frank Degods, right? So everyone, even Ethereum maxis, know Frank Degods, and so he's got that going for him. He's not like completely starting afresh on Ethereum. But it's interesting. I don't know how it's going to pan out, is what I'm saying. And neither does he.
Yeah. The good thing is he's been on OpenSea. So I know how you're saying like he's not on Ethereum yet. But because they're marketed on OpenSea and you can see them there, I feel like he is talking to the Solana crowd, but at the same time, the last few months, dude, he's blowing the fuck up. Like, I don't think he's talking to the Solana crowd. Like, he's arguably the most relevant person in Web3, which means everyone's looking at him. It's not the Solana people. I don't believe that. I don't believe that he's marketing to Solana people. I do believe a little bit that. And I also remember that he put out a statement the other day, like in the last week, that he said it wasn't going to be as much degenerate Frank. It's going to be more corporate Frank. And I do believe that's because he's moving to Ethereum. So I do think a little bit, but I do think
he successfully launched a project on Solana. That's where Degods launched. That's where Yoots launched. What would have been if he had launched initially on Ethereum? They wouldn't. Who knows? But I'm saying it would have been different. The marketing worked to a certain target market, but it's interesting you say that because that's exactly what I'm saying. The fact that he's acknowledging it's going to be more corporate, they're changing, means that he's thought about this and he understands that he's targeting a different demographic now or different, target market.
All right, I'm with you there then.
It's interesting. It's interesting to see how are they going to change that, and are there OGs who move over with them to Polygon and ETH? Are they going to be happy with the changes that are going to come? And you're never going to make everyone happy all the time. But I would be upset if I was a Yoots holder because NFTs on Polygon are typically shit. I'll be like straight up with you. And I would be quite happy if I was a Degods holder because NFTs on Ethereum are typically good. That's how I honestly feel about it. I'm neither, so I can't really comment. I'm just interested to see how this all plays out. I'm sitting there with my popcorn, bro.
Do you know? Sorry. So here's the play is that we just saw they're going to drop their NFT launch accelerator program. I'm going to assume that whatever deal they did behind closed doors with Polygon was not just to get no more. Yeah, I guess not.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. It's just I couldn't help myself. That's hilarious.
That video is actually fucking good. That was a funny video. But they did a deal with Polygon. They got some amount of millions of dollars for it. That's fine.
2 to 3 million.
Yeah, but I'm sure that because of that, they're going to have in some way, shape, or form support for the new project that launch on Polygon. And I think what their hope is by the time Q3 rolls around, is that when it was Q3 when they're going to bridge over?
I'm not sure. I'm not 100%.
I think it was Q3. So if it's Q3, whatever, even if it's in like 2 months, the amount of stuff that can happen in 2 months. So say it's Q3, say we're making 7 to 8 months. What happens in 8 months could be told. We might be saying, dude, Polygon projects are fucking crushing it. And then it's like, boom, Yoots to Polygon. And then they all moon together. And now Polygon has established itself as a competitor and a real blockchain, something that people take seriously and stop making jokes about the fact that
Ethereum
Polygon takes fucking forever to work.
Ethereum is the NFT goat. No one can deny that. Is it possible that bloody shitcoin A or shitcoin B becomes the next biggest one? Sure, anything's possible. But I don't believe that that's going to happen. It could also happen that Solana blows up. There's more chance of Solana NFTs blowing up in 6 months' time than there is of Polygon NFTs. Polygon's amazing for gamification and things like that, right? Which I know they're doing. But anytime I see a purple Polygon sign on OpenSea, I just click off it. I don't want to Polygon
for now. That might change
in
the next few months, But
but
I know Polygon are. Sorry, go ahead.
As someone who bought a Yoots NFT on Solana, I didn't sign up for that maybe. Right, and I didn't. I'm just saying, I would feel like similar to how I did with Moonbirds when they unilaterally went CCO. I would feel I bought a Solana NFT, and what am I going to end up with? I'm going to end up with an Ethereum or Polygon NFT. If I got Ethereum, I would be happy because I'm an ETH maxi. But I don't know if the Solana guy who gets an Ethereum NFT is going to be happy. But if I got a Polygon, I wouldn't be happy. But maybe a Solana guy who gets a Polygon NFT is happy. I don't know. I'm just saying, there's a lot going on there, and it's going to be very interesting.
Their partnership with Degods, Polygon wants to be known. I think Polygon, a lot of people who are respected but not famous on Twitter, who are builder people, they all of them talk about how dope Polygon is. Like a lot of people who are respected in their work, not their Twitter presence, talk about Polygon being so undervalued, so underrated because of that.
Chain. Yes, I agree with that.
Right.
The Polygon chain is incredible. And all the big brands, like I think Starbucks was on Polygon, that whole Starbucks, like all the big Web2 brands. I'm saying just from a pure NFT standpoint,
But I think that's why they partner with Degods. I think they want Degods promotion and marketing prowess. They're not going to probably use Degods. Like, I don't think Degods is going to be retweeting a project that's minting on Polygon, but I think they're going to be like, okay, y'all have crushed it with the marketing and promo. We blow dick promo and marketing clearly because everybody hates us still, even though we're better than everyone or a lot of people and other chains and whatever. We're doing a lot of good stuff, but people aren't giving us the time of day to believe it, and we're not getting the chance to be able to get out of the limelight of like Polygon sucks. Like, that's what everyone thinks, even though they believe that they have all this stuff. I think that's why they partnered with such a master marketing team. That's just my opinion on it. And I do think that at some point that narrative will change. And I think that's because they gave them $3 million and said, we need you to make Polygon way better than it is in the narrative of Twitter. When Twitter people are talking about Polygon, we need to stop being that chain that people laugh at. Because right now that's what it is. I think that's why they moved from Solana to Solana.
Is it enough? Is it enough just having Yoots on Polygon, like getting them to move over? I don't know. I don't know. I personally don't think so. They'll need to do this numerous times over. And yes, if they have $3 million for another 5-10 projects, great. I have no doubt that a lot of Solana projects are writing emails to Polygon at the moment saying, look, we interested, how many million will you give us? And all the rest. I have no doubt.
It's not so much about that, though. It's not really the Yoots. Like, I didn't really mean Yoots coming over would help Polygon. I meant like Polygon will get access to the Degods and Yoots team and their marketing, whoever they use for marketing. If they do it in house, I don't know how they do it. I think they're more like, hey, we need to partner with Degods because their team is good at marketing. We are not good at marketing. I think they're looking at Degods as a marketing team.
I don't think they're not hiring. They're not hiring Degod as their marketing agency.
I just feel like I feel like it makes sense that part of the deal is they said we need some marketing bits, and Degods is way better at this than us.
Just talk about Polygon. It's almost like when a company sponsors a sports team. That's how I see what Polygon's looking at it now. They just want to have a great collection on their chain as a start. Maybe they want a few more. I don't know. What their game plan is, Polygon side of things. But it's definitely like, for me, and look, I could be wrong, but I think it's them sponsoring Degods in a way, and Yoots or and the Degods ecosystem.
Do you still hold Yoots?
I never had. I've never had Yoots or Degods. That's what I was saying. I'm saying if I were a Yoots holder and a Sol Maxi, I would be hurt by this. But I'm not. So I don't know if that's a true statement.
Yoots art is good, dude. I really fuck with the Yoots art. Like, every time I see it, I'm like, man, if I had $5,000 just blow on a picture. There. I know, dude. The Yoots art is cool. It did.
All right, keeping on Solana and Magic Eden, in the last few days, there was a massive exploit on Magic Eden, and this is crazy. I've never seen this before, where fake NFTs were being inserted into verified collections. So this Yoots over here that you're seeing here under Yoots and the real Yoots was not a real Yoots. So they realized it. They paused the whole website, the Magic Eden website, and they then rectified the issue. And they've now come out and they've said that they're going to be refunding everybody who was affected by this, right? Nice. But which is great. I mean, Magic Eden is like that. I remember when they launched their launch pad, and there were some bad actors who launched collections on their launch pad and ended up rugging. Magic Eden refunded all those people, so they are good like that. But still a bit scary. We always say blockchain and so safe and all the rest of it. I've never seen this where in a verified proper collection, someone is able to insert a fake NFT. I've never seen anything like that. I don't know how it happened.
I have no idea. That's fucking crazy. Well, I guess Frank and Degods are probably like, whew, thank God we're moving.
No, I like Magic Eden. I do. I would like it if Magic Eden was only ETH, because I much prefer dealing with them than I do OpenSea. Yeah. But all the volume for ETH is on OpenSea. But I'm just saying their customer service is like, OpenSea customer service does not exist. Magic Eden, there's a live chat there where they answer you immediately and help you.
Good point.
I like Magic Eden a lot. I really do.
I don't got too much to say on Magic Eden, though.
there were about 30 I think it was 25 or something NFTs in the ABC collection, in the Yoots collection, and a few others that got affected by this. Yeah, and that's pretty much that story over there.
R.I.P. Magic
Brian, and never, come on, leave Magic Eden alone. I like them. I told you. It's like if I say, "Oh, I like that girl," and you're like, "Oh, she's so ugly." It's like, fuck off, bro. I like her. You know, I like Magic Eden.
Oh shit, dude.
Then, sort of on the same topic, but completely separate, there have been at least there've been 3 specific huge hacks from where OGs in the space have lost a huge amount of money in the last week. So I wanted to take you through these just to remind everyone to be extra freaking careful out there. The first one over here, this guy lost $300,000 and a whole lot of CryptoPunks. Okay.
Wow.
I don't know if you heard about this, but this was by
I've heard of a couple. Yeah, I saw this.
Crypto Nova, an influencer in the space. So what's that? I mean, at least 3, 18,000 followers.
You know what's weird is since I've been hacked, I'm actually, I know I lost that World of Women, which really hurt, but because I lost that, and I remember like the actual feeling in my gut when I realized that my World of Women had been transferred and I saw it, and like it was, at that point it was like too late. There's nothing I could do, and I was like, wow, I just got fucking scammed. Like that guy just stole my $5,000 asset. What the fuck? And I remember just like my heart sunk. So, and like before that hack happened, when I saw other people losing NFTs and getting scammed, I had very little sympathy. I was always like, oh man, that sucks, but like you should have known better. And then once I fell for one and I realized that anyone could do it at any moment, it's just a matter of like, if you were paying attention in that second when you click something, dude, I feel so bad because like that is so much money. But not only money, if I lost CryptoPunks or an NFT that I valued at that level, that would hurt my fucking soul forever, bro. To know that I lost those assets, it would hurt.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's important what you said is anything in life, until you have experienced it yourself, you don't really understand. Sort of like anyone who doesn't bring wedding presents to the bride and groom has never been married. Anyone who's been married and got beautiful presents from people and had the 2 or 3 people that never bought anything that never bought anything. Or like when we had the twins and we started looking at prams. All of a sudden, when you're pregnant, you start noticing other people's prams, whereas for the last 25 years of my life, I'd never noticed a pram in my whole life. And now all of a sudden, you're looking at prams as if they're cars, and you're sort of like, ooh, check out that pram that guy's got. And right, it's a whole thing. So I think I agree with you until it happens to you. But the point here is it's happened to Cade. It's happened to me. I lost a CloneX. I lost 4.5 or 5 Ethereum. Nothing on this level, but I know what I'm doing. And I also fell victim to it. There's another 2 that I want to take you through, but just talking about that, there's 2 things that I suggest that anyone does. The one is to download the revoke.cash extension, okay? Because it's not just that you've got easy access to revoke.cash website, it actually gives you warnings when someone's about to take things from you. When you're about to sign a malicious something, that's one thing that I've got installed that I really suggest. And actually, it did warn me, and I had it installed, and I wasn't concentrating because in the end of the day, it does warn you at times when there shouldn't be a warning, where everything's okay. And I just saw it and I didn't read it properly, but I went back to my log and it said to me, you're about to sign access to your ETH and a whole lot of other stuff. So that's revoke.cash. And a new one that I've just installed that I can't vouch for personally as strongly, but people in the space that I trust vouch for this, is Pocket Universe. That also does the same thing. So I would highly recommend revoke.cash Chrome extension. Pocket Universe, as I say, I can't recommend it, but people I respect recommend it, and I'm giving it a try as well. So those 2 will definitely help. And when you do see a pop-up from revoke.cash, read it, because it doesn't pop up on every transaction, but it does sometimes misfire. But either way, so that's the one. The other one Sorry, that was Cryptonova. So this was actually retweeted by CZ from Binance, but an OG Bitcoin developer lost 200 Bitcoin, $3.5 million. And this is, it's this guy here, Luke. Don't know how to spell that, how to pronounce that surname. I mean, can you imagine that feeling, bro? My PGT coin is compromised, and at least many of my Bitcoin stolen. I have no idea. Help. I mean, that helpless feeling, bro. Do you remember that?
Dude,
I mean, it's just a terrible feeling. And that's when you realize that you're in a decentralized place where no one can do anything to help you. It's not like you can just phone the bank and say, my credit card's been stolen. It's one of the downside. But I mean, I can't even imagine losing that amount of money. And yeah, I mean, again, this is someone who is an OG in the space. And to think that he's been able to be hacked like this, it just shows you that anyone can fall victim to it, and you need to be careful.
Yeah.
And the last one is someone. Sorry, Kat, I'm going to jump to you after.
Yeah.
The last one is one of the Nike RTKFT team, COO, Chief Operational Officer. He lost a lot of Clone X's, in a massive hack. So again, someone who's building in the space and understands blockchain and the risk. Another, and this is all this week. This was the 4th of Jan, 2 days ago. Yeah. It's just absolutely crazy. He created content, so his core community. And the funny thing is, when my Clone X was stolen and I went into Clone X Discord, the mods were like, sorry, there's nothing we can do. And even if the answer is there's nothing we can do to help you, I was trying to get help for them to get OpenSea to block it. Even if the answer is, there was not much sympathy. It wasn't like, geez, bro, I'm so sorry, But here, their founder, he lost, look at this, bro. So I'll show you here. So it was about $200,000 worth of NFTs, 19 Clone X's, 18 space pods, 17 loot pods, 11 crypto kicks, and 19 animus eggs. And remember, this valuation is at the absolute bottom of Clone X at the moment. Their whole ecosystem is very, very low. So, I mean, if you wait a couple of months, that would have been like 300, 400,000, not financial advice. I love Clone X. But yeah, just another example, someone very native to the space losing a fortune of stuff. So guys, just be careful out there. Be careful. Sorry, Kate, what did you want to say, my bro?
God. Well, that's fucking scary. That is insane, dude. I don't know. He says something about I was hacked because they had the same phone number as my Apple ID. That just scares me because I'm like, bro, I just don't know what I'm doing. Actually, never mind. I need to stop talking. I don't want to get hacked.
Clone X, I was hacked by a clever fisher. Same phone number as Apple ID. Sold all my clone and other NFTs. Obviously, pretty upset and hurt by this. I mean, I would like to hear more about how it happened, just so that we can understand, so we can warn the Clone X community. I'll just say here, I mean, in response, I am so sorry to hear, as someone who had their Clone X stolen myself. I know how horrible this feels, and I'm sad you had to experience this. There we go. Show some kindness, right? All right. So yeah, I will be watching. If any more details come out exactly what happened, more than what he says here, I would be very interested, so that we can warn everyone accordingly, right?
God, dude.
You see, for legal purposes, I cannot go into deeper details.
Wow.
All I can say is be aware that companies such as Microsoft, Apple will never ask you for your password, your private key. I mean, which we do. No, I mean, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But it's one of those.
But again,
if you're not paying attention, you might just do it.
Exactly. When you're in the heat of it, and you got a million things going on, and you're not thinking, exactly as you should all the time. And we're all guilty of that. I mean, as I say, heart goes out to the guy. Sorry to hear all of them. And it's a problem in my mind, Kate, because until this is sorted, I think this hampers growth. I think people are scared to enter the space, and people who enter the space. I mean, I'll be honest with you. When my ETH and clone was stolen, and it wasn't the value that was the thing. When that happened to me, a thought went through my mind like, what am I doing in a space like this? I know it's silly. It was a moment's thought, but you know me, I came into the space, I worked my way up to every NFT I bought, all the way to a Bored APR Club trading. And to have someone just come and take, effectively in rands, my local currency, $250,000 rand from me. I just thought, I don't want to be in a space like this. It was temporary, and I was embarrassed. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't tell you. I didn't tell anyone until Andreas came on 3 or 4 weeks later, and somehow it sort of came out, and he was like really sweet about it and said, no, it happens to the best of us and all the rest. But I wasn't going to tell anyone. And then I thought, I'm not being honest, because that's all I was thinking about. So, I just think it needs to be sorted. There needs to be more done. And we're seeing that with the extensions that I showed you and things like that. But for the average, if guys like us, you and me, Cade, the head of RTKFT, and these other guys, if guys like this can get hacked, I just feel for the newcomer who comes into the space, it doesn't even have to be a hack like this. They buy a collection that they think is a Pudgy Penguin, and it's actually not a Pudgy Penguin or whatever. It's just we're not going to be able to onboard the masses until it's safer, in my opinion.
I mean, it was always going to be a question of when, and I think we're too early for any of that. I mean, we're chipping away at it. That's kind of what's going on. I've always held my more of my probably the best word is like self-worth in my content. Like once I realized that trading is so hard, like I know, like it was embarrassing when I lost mine too. I wasn't as much embarrassed. I was just kind of like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Like that was so stupid. But
that's what I mean. Embarrassed that I fell for it. The guy who warns people on Discords, security alert, be careful, that's this, and picks up the stuff, picks up the, it happened to me. And I had Revoked Cash installed that warned me. I just thought, I felt like an idiot.
When I lost it, that was actually part of the reason I haven't gotten back into World of Women. Even though I'm friends with Kashfi, the community manager over there, I remember when I lost mine and I like jumped into Discord to see if anyone could help in any capacity or if anyone had any information, and like just got like zero response in any way, shape, or form from anybody. And I was like, and I was just kind of like, damn, dude. And like at that point, like I had already experienced it like in their Discord a couple of times where I was like, man, like I don't really feel any kind of anything in this community. And I was kind of like, this is kind of weird. And that was part of the reason I haven't gotten in. But with every L is a W, and Crypto Gorilla just DM'd me and he goes, dude, you're famous. Have you seen this video? It's a video that took off about crypto and NFTs. It got almost 1 million views and I'm in it. Look at this shit. So, all right. I'm only in there for like a couple seconds, but it's this video and it's a 55-minute documentary about, the title is the greatest crypto scam, and I don't know if that's like clickbait or if this is a video saying NFT people are a scam. So I'm not sure if me being in this video is good or bad.
I just know this
video I haven't seen the whole thing because it's 55 minutes, but it's got 740,000 views in 5 days, and I'm in there for like a 5-second clip because it's Pudgy Penguins.
What is it on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's called The Greatest Crypto Scam. It's got 700,000 views or something.
Are they going to tell me that you're a mass murderer or something like that?
I don't know. No, I was only in there for a clip as they were mentioning NFT projects. And I think because Pudgy Penguins is pumping, they probably just typed in on YouTube Pudgy Penguins, and my video probably came up because I'm the only one who's really done like a lot of in-depth coverage on them. And so I'm just glad that they found a clip from my new studio, dude. Like, thank God they found one from my new studio where everything looked fine. And I was happy about it. I mean, I still haven't seen the video. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. But that was kind of cool. I mean, I don't know. Anyways,
congrats, my friend. I want to hear more once you watch it. I'm worried that it's okay. So Amazon has dropped a limited series of 6 episodes about NFTs, which is really, really cool.
Oh,
so it's just in general, like it's called NFTMe. Just general about what NFT culture is, and what NFTs are. I haven't watched it. I don't know Yeah, well, it says I should watch it. Hey, it says it's been dropped already, so I will watch it. But yeah, it's just really bullish to have a massive company like Amazon feeling like there's enough interest in NFTs by the average Joe, their viewer, that they could make a limited six episode series on it, which I thought was really pretty cool. It says in 6-minute episodes, they introduce 50 pioneers in the NFT space from 4 continents, including America's singer Sosaya Green of the Supremes. I'm not going to mention everyone. The first episode explores the NFT community and the journey of different people through digital culture, with leading influencers breaking down NFT and blockchain technology, and Congo Queen Diambi describing how her tribe have a Web3 mindset. The second episode digs into how Rafik Anul is creating art with NASA. I know about him. I actually minted one of those drops that he did, and how Eminem request for 20 years ago led to his NFT journey. The following episode explores how brands are connecting with NFTs to explore new audience and generations, the social impact of digital transformation and tokenization in the music industry, metaverse. I just wish they hadn't called it NFTMe, to be really, really honest. Among the highlights is the crossover between Christina Boganio breaking down regulations role in keeping NFTs. And then behind the series are film producer and talk media and award-winning director Johnny Kaplan. The production started in 2019. Wow, they've been working on it for a while. And he had to adapt it due to COVID-19 restrictions, which included sending AI robots equipped with sensors, enabling the director to remotely move, direct, and communicate. That's pretty cool. So yeah, bro, I like it. I definitely am going to watch it.
Yeah, I feel like I know what it's going to be about, bro. Like, it's just going to be about the meteoric rise and then crash. Like, that's what's going to be. I am very interested to see how they do it. Maybe I'll make a reaction series to it. I don't know. We'll see. That is interesting.
Yeah. Again, I also want to watch it. I mean, I don't think that there's stuff we're going to learn. I'm interested to see how they're presenting NFTs to their audience, you know?
Yeah. I feel 100%.
Which is pretty
100%.
cool. Speaking of influencers, I really want to get your take on this one. So the whole Cryptozoo thing with so let's just tell the audience. So there's been a lot of drama in the last couple of days between CoffeeZilla, who's really blown up recently, especially due to his FTX coverage and how he went after Sam Bankman-Fried. And he now came out saying that he's been researching for a long time Logan Paul's collection Cryptozoo, and he came up with pretty damning findings. I mean, I'm not going to run through it all here. You're welcome to look him up and watch it. Here it is, investigating Logan Paul's biggest scam. Logan Paul was really quiet for about 2 weeks. There was no response. And then Logan Paul came out with a response to it. He really just attacked CoffeeZilla. He didn't really, touch on the allegations. However, he did say that one of the people that worked for game development on the project for him ended up stealing $1 million from him. But he didn't really do much to reassure the Cryptozoo community, and he really was just more on the defensive, which I personally thought was a very immature way to respond to this, and just try to break down CoffeeZilla. But Kate, I know you really big on this sort of stuff, so I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Bro, Logan Paul dug himself into the worst grave he's dug himself in yet. He is notorious for posting terrible response videos to allegations against him, and this has been just another card to the stack. He is so bad at responding to when someone attacks him because he's. I love Logan Paul. Like I don't love Logan Paul. I really look up to him in the sense that he's definitely a pioneer for doing things that are impossible and just somehow getting it done. And I look up to him in that way because it's crazy how he accomplishes certain things. But he's so far in that hole that he literally can't remember what it's like to not be him in his position at A-level status of celebrity. And when he talks sometimes, I'm like, bro, do you hear what is coming out of your mouth? Because I know you don't feel like, I know when he says something like the way he responded, essentially, for people who haven't seen his response, he's basically saying like, none of this was my fault. I hired a team. The team fucked everything, and everyone they hired was a scammer, which is like, okay, that probably is what happened. But you can't say it like that on a response, because all it sounds like is I'm not claiming any accountability. My team did it all. Someone else. And it's like, look, that probably did happen. Like, I believe him. I think that probably did. He probably did hire someone who hired someone else who was a sketchy guy, because it seems like they hired some people who have been known to be scammers. So like that happened. I also know, based on like proof on the blockchain, they didn't make any money off this collection. They didn't sell any of their tokens. So we know that they didn't take any money from the project. All we know is they hired a bunch of scammers. And in this video, all he says is, it's not my fault. I hired the scammers. It's their fault. I also got screwed, which probably happens. But you can't say it like that. And you can't come in with this like really like I'm better than you attitude, but like
not defensive attitude.
The way he said it was so poorly executed, and I know I just can't believe it, dude.
Just the fact that someone scammed you doesn't give you a right to walk away from it, especially when you're worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and it doesn't bury you to lose $1 million. Number one.
So it's a legal thing. I hear
that it's a free mint. I hear you say that, but people bought on the secondary for real money. So people have been hurt in it. Just explain to me what you mean. It's a legal thing.
So the reason, well, okay, this is alleged too, but we don't know why he went silent for a year. We can speculate and be like, because the project shat itself and nothing ever came from it, because the developer ran away. So it's like he drops this project. He says, okay, team, manager Jeff, I want to do this. Put people in charge of it and go make it happen. I'll be the marketer guy. That's typically the stance that Logan takes when he does new ventures. Like, for people who don't know, he also is the founder of Prime Energy, or not, sorry, Prime Hydration, the beverage drink thing that's going to rival Gatorade that he wants to do with KSI. People found out he's not actually the founder. He's just one of the people who owns part of the company, but he's not running the company. Someone else is running the company. He's just the face of it, right? So it's the same thing with this Cryptozoo. He's not actually doing much. He's just there in charge of it. And because of that, well, I understand that, but when the developer ran away and the legal things came out, because that's when they were like, oh, fuck, we just got scammed. This guy ran away. And the reason you stepped away, allegedly, is that they were like, look, we literally can't talk about this because we're suing him, and you can't talk about an ongoing investigation. Okay, but because they didn't do that, now all these people get scammed. So I think it's a lose-lose situation for everybody.
A new team. Hire a new developer and still deliver on what you promised. Am I right in saying this is his second NFT collection? Wasn't there the first one where there was huge drama, where he did all those photographs?
People love that one. That one went down very well.
No, there was also drama with.
Was that the very first one he dropped? No, the very first one he dropped was a bunch of Pokemon cards, basically with his face on it. That was terrible. But that was also like the first month of NFTs, so I feel like people were like,
okay. And then after that, he did the photo one, which he spoke about as being he's going to do it properly.
And then he did 99. Cryptozoo has been a long time, and it's been sitting there doing nothing for a long time. And I agree, he should have. I feel like there's a reason they didn't do something. Like, I know they walked away from the project and never mentioned it again. I'm thinking part of it, like, there's basically two angles. Either they walked away from the project and said, okay, hopefully people just forget about this shit, and then CoffeeZilla drops this thing, and now they have to do it. Or they said, okay, we are still in an investigation. We're not allowed to hire someone and continue the project until this is done. It's one of two things.
No, that's not how it works.
To believe that CoffeeZilla is the reason that they're talking about it and they're back into the project. Because now he's back in Discord saying, what's up?
You know what just strikes me? Just one thing. Hypothetically, if I was worth hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, and it's a very big hypothetical, surely, and I was a public personality, surely reputation is more important than anything else. So I would personally, if I was worth what he was worth and I'm in the hole for $1 million, I would personally make good on anyone who bought on the secondary. Personally, each and everyone who bought gets a refund. It's going to cost me $500,000. It's going to cost me $1 million, because reputation means more to me than $1 million. And we saw that with Kim. If I was worth that amount of money. We saw that with Kim Kardashian. There was all this stuff about the coin that she promoted and whatever, and she just wanted to go away. Here's $1 million, fine, whatever, leave me alone, right? In a way, you got to protect your reputation. When you're worth, let's just say $100 million, it's a lot more than that. $1 million is not worth losing your $100 million personality over. And I know he hasn't, and I know that there's still fans and a lot, and he gets a lot of views. All I'm saying is that I'm surprised that he never made good on it when you've got so much. And then something like this wouldn't have been able to hurt him, because this does do damage to his reputation.
Especially because CoffeeZilla made such a public statement about it. Yeah, dude. I mean, Logan Paul said like 2 years ago he got interested in money, and he said it on a podcast. And I remember when he said that, because he was on a roll. And I remember the moment he said that, my heart sank a little bit, because I was like, I kind of know what that means. Like, when you say you're going to focus on money more, that's fine. You're going to make more money. You can do more business ventures. But I knew that his quality of reputation would take a hit, because it's like inevitable. If you start focusing on the money side, your reputation takes a little bit of a hit. Like, in the same way that my business has hurt my reputation a little bit, but it's also helped. There's certain ways it hurts it. Like, some people look at my channel and they're like, I can't believe Kate does his commission brutally honest reviews. It devalues his reviews or whatever. And then some people are like, no, it's good. He's getting paid for it. He's showing people how to audit projects, blah, blah, blah. People get these full in-depth reviews. In my head, there's way more net positive because I do tons of reviews, not just commission ones. But people will have different opinions on that.
That's an honest day's work.
Logan Paul should have done a lot better.
That's an honest day work. Here you've got someone with hundreds of millions of dollars.
This is bad.
Where there's no defense to say the person I hired let me down, so therefore I'm letting you down, right? I mean, I've had times in my career where we've ordered stock from a supplier. The supplier's gone insolvent. We had paid them a deposit. We never get the stock. I've never picked up the phone to a customer and say, I got scammed, so in the end of the day, you're not getting your stock. Never. I've paid them back, or I've delivered on what we said through another supplier or something like that. And I'm not, 100 million, 200 million, and I don't, and a dollar's net worth, and I don't have a public persona from that side, the Perkel side, my business side has got nothing to do with this. But yet, my little reputation in the market that I'm in means more to me than any amount of money that I lost because of circumstance of trusting the wrong person or whatever, the wrong company or whatever. So this just shocks me that he didn't.
Well, they made
just
a response.
Make good on it.
Logan finally responded on the full podcast, and George, who's one of the co-hosts, pushed him a little bit and was like, okay, let me ask some hard questions here. And he did a great job there. And what was interesting is that George is he's known for being, he's like very religious. He's known for being super honest, upfront, whatever. So he said something which is interesting. He was like, Logan, I've known you for like 12 years. He's like, you're one of my best friends. I know you're not a scammer. I know you're a good person. I know that, stuff like that. And I remember when he said that, because I think we talked about this on a podcast, on an episode of this maybe a couple months ago, honestly, where I was struggling with like the morality of business things. Remember, I did that review for the project, and then they said, don't do so I get when George is like, you're a good person, this was a mistake kind of thing. But then I'm like, the line is different. Like, I do believe that Logan believes he's a good person deep down, and I believe that he wants to do good. But I also believe that doesn't mean that like the only thing that matters at the end of the day is what you actually did. Like it truly is. Even if Logan truly believes that he's a good person, if you did do the thing, you're still a piece of shit. Even if you think, and even if you know you're a good person,
you can make mistakes. We all make mistakes as we learn, and we're all learning and growing our whole lives. But you have opportunities to make good on those mistakes. And here's someone with more than enough. He can still do it now, I'm saying.
I know. Dude,
why?
I know. That's the worst part. He needs to do something really, really good here. And he's not going to
look in the mirror. Just look in the mirror and say, the response should be, you know what? We got scammed. That's got nothing to do with the holders. We realize people have been hurt by this, and we're making good. We're refunding everyone. Whatever it is, a couple $100,000. That's how life is. Yes, you can make mistakes. You can hire the wrong people. You can even make mistakes where you, by mistake, rob a bank. Yes, you did it on purpose, but when you look back, you feel sorry, and you really have changed, and you can go back to the bank and say, here's the $1 million or whatever. You can make good. in life, and especially when you have unlimited resources. So I don't understand why he hasn't, and why it doesn't seem like he's going to. Sort of
I
like,
think he
screw
just
you guys.
doesn't. Sorry,
I'm
come on.
keeping the proceeds. No, that's it. I mean, that's not the.
Oh, dude, I don't know, man. I think when you're at that level, bro, I just think that there are some losses that he's like willing to take. There's no way he's gonna refund these people, bro, because he knows he'll be fine. Because like when you look at your career in decades, like I think he does, you just know that even these kind of things are really bad, but they're just gonna blow over in 10 years. Like it's just not gonna even be a blip.
In decades, you realize that reputation means more than anything and comes back to bite you. And if you're clever, you keep it as clean as you possibly can. And when you fuck up, you admit it and you make good on it. It just comes back. You just see the circle of it. It's almost like even at school, you dated a few girls. Or let me talk about me. I dated a couple of girls at school, like we all do, right? Then it ends up that I got married to someone completely different, and these girls got married to people completely different. We're all happy, all got kids. And you go there, and 3 of them are in your child's class, ex-girlfriends with their kids, and you're like, just thank God I didn't do wrong by any of it. Things come around. things come full circle. It's a tiny example.
Really
I'm just saying, like in life. Whereas and that brings us, bro, so nicely, and this wasn't planned. I mean,
oh my God,
talk about things coming around to bite you in the ass. Now, look, everything, we don't know anything. Like, honestly, we have no insider knowledge on anything. Just interested to discuss these things with the audience and to hear Cade's take, because Cade's take, not Cade's Tate, Cade's take on all this sort of stuff, because he's really, I look up to him so much on social media side of things. But we've got Andrew Tate, who's been arrested. And I'm not going to run through the story. I think everybody knows. While they investigate, they're keeping him in jail for 30 days at least, and that can be extended. And in order to do that, you have to have some pretty damning evidence against them, because if they're wrong about this, the authorities, he will sue that country for everything it's worth, and they know that, and end up winning. They think they're right and that they've got something. I'm interested to hear what you have to say first, Cade, and then I will, speak to you about it. What are your feelings on this? Because you're the guy who mentioned Andrew Tate to me before I even knew him, right?
Yeah.
And since then, I've watched a lot of his content. I have my own views on it, but I'm very interested to hear what your views are.
I just don't buy it, bro. Like the second he got arrested, like 10 hours later, he's tweeting again, and I was like, bro, what are you like? It seems like even if he's going to be sitting in jail, he's going to be sitting in a penthouse of a jail, and I just
either way, you don't buy that this is legitimate.
I just don't buy it's legit. It's just weird, like especially because he called it on a bunch of shows and was like, I'm gonna get arrested soon because they can't handle what I'm saying. I was like, bro, what are you talking about? They're not gonna arrest you because you say a bunch of nonsense on Twitter. I was like, they don't care. They care, but they're not going to arrest you for that. That's inconceivable. And then he gets arrested for these things that have been debated, I guess, about how he made all his money. And now there's some allegations that have in the last 24 hours, actually, that have changed my mind a little bit, because there's been some information that I didn't really know about, which was that he essentially so for people who don't, just 20-second background check on him. He made a ton of money, like millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, by essentially being a manager for OnlyFans, for like girls' accounts, right? But before OnlyFans was a thing, this is a long time ago. It's cam girls. So he basically recruits these cam girls, says, hey, you're going to make $2,000 a month, but if you work with me, you're going to make $5,000 a month. Because I know what I'm doing. You're gonna put all this content out, no one's gonna see it, blah, blah, blah. You're gonna waste all your money. So he recruits these girls, says, okay, we're gonna pay, I'm gonna take this much, you're gonna make this much, but you're gonna be working under me. So it's essentially like a legal pimp, right? The reason that he's getting arrested, part of the reason, is because they're like, okay, he actually lied. He actually got these girls, recruited them, told them all these things. I'm gonna make you rich. I'm gonna like live with you in this house. It's gonna be beautiful. Like we're gonna work together every day. And then they get there and they're like, actually, you're not gonna live with me. You're gonna live with this dude who picked you up from the airport. You're gonna do this 12 hours a day. You're gonna give me 75%, not 20. Like all these things came out. Basically, he was like, these girls get there and it's nothing like he said. And it's one of those things that he sold them on a dream and then fucked them over as a typical e-com guy, right? That's the new allegations. When if that's the case, now I'm like, okay, if that's what one of the main things they're rolling with. This I could believe is real. It's just weird timing. But now I'm very interested. So the beginning when I said I don't buy it, that's a little bit changed in the last 24 hours.
Look, I know nothing. I can tell you two things. He's either done wrong and is going to pay a price, or he hasn't done wrong, and the system, like he says, the matrix, was to shut him down because he's having an influence on our working class guys that the government just want to keep in line. Those are the two options.
He's not going to jail. No, he's too rich. He's too rich to go to prison. He's not going to prison.
I don't know. These are serious allegations. I mean, you've got Bill Cosby still sitting in jail. You've got Harvey Weinstein in jail.
Good point.
There's a lot of powerful rich people, and you're going to have Sam Bankman-Fried sitting in jail.
But he's arrested in Romania. He's arrested in Romania, Phil.
It doesn't matter. There's still a law, bro. I mean, I live in South Africa, and we have one of the strongest constitutions in the world. People hear South Africa, and they think that I've got lions running around on the streets, and they see pictures of the townships. They don't see pictures of the suburbs.
Yeah.
I'm saying that we are known to have some of the strongest constitution in the world, and we've also got one of the best banking systems in the world. Yes, we don't have electricity. Yes, we don't have water. Right? We've got a lot of problems. We've got huge corruption in government. Fine, yes, but there are certain things. I don't know enough about Romania to know whether it's right or wrong. All I'm saying is that can't factor into whether he's going to do it. What sort of coincided with this was he had a bit of a war with Greta Thunberg, who Trump famously had a bit of a war with on Twitter. What I do think is important in this coverage, and again, I know nothing, is to say that, you know, you started saying that he called this. What if he knew about this? You know, obviously he knew if he did something. And what if he knew that they were investigating him? And if all the social media stuff that he's been building up in the last couple of months and years was to try and build a defense, and say, "Oh, look, I told you they were going to come after me because I'm empowering men, and you know they knew this is. I told you this was going to happen." What if this was all perfectly orchestrated, especially because he knew that this was coming up? I'm not saying it is. I'm saying what if, you know?
Well, you're kind of, yeah, it was. I mean, it's piggybacking off the idea that they're corrupt as fuck, and we've heard him on multiple occasions say the reason he lives in Romania is because he can get away with stuff. He's like, I can pay people to not bust me for something. He goes, if I get pulled over, I can just pay them not to give me a ticket or whatever. And because of that, I do believe that he's got power in this, and I do believe what you just said is possible, where he maybe knew about these allegations because they're corrupt police, and he's got people and friends because he's so unbelievably rich. I think it's very possible.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Ziggy's saying here, I don't believe any of these allegations are real. He's a smart, rich guy. He doesn't need to human traffic. Why aren't they going after Epstein's list if they care so much about trafficking?
He got rich. He got rich because of this. He was rich. He wasn't rich before.
Yeah, so I remember in an interview, it was either with the Full Send guys or David, what's that big YouTuber?
I know you're
the older
about.
Guy. Huh?
He's a red pill. He's one of those red pill YouTubers. I don't remember his name.
Bar David. He's a great.
I know you're talking about.
Okay, so there was another interview with him where he spoke openly about what he was doing there, or what we think is openly, and that could also be a part of a whole, you know, defense that he's trying to put up. So he was saying that they knew very well that they were doing what they were doing, and that actually he was, you know, they were the ones answering the messages, because men know how men think, and they made those girls rich. I did see what you were mentioning today also. The one part you left out is he actually got these ladies, allegedly from this article, I know nothing, he allegedly got these ladies to come there on the pretense of a relationship with him. Maybe knowing that it would be an open relationship, like he talks about openly, and, you know, whatever, but a relationship. And then when they got there, oh no, actually you're not staying with him, but you're staying with him, but it's still a relationship. Oh no, it's not really a relationship, but and slowly, you know, so got them to come change their whole lives for him, thinking they were in love or he was in love with them. And then slowly, once they're there, oh no, it's just a job and whatever. I don't know if that constitutes human trafficking. I don't know if that happened. All I know is that it's interesting to see and it's interesting to watch what happens.
I think if he gets busted, it's going to be one of those where he serves, if he does serve at all, it'll be a fucking tiny sentence. They'll get him on a bunch of stupid charges that are not as big.
No, these are serious. These are serious.
Well, I know he was getting charged, but I don't think he's going to go. I don't think they're going to win the case on any of the big things. I just don't see a world where he goes put away, dude. I just don't. Not in a Romanian government system, like maybe in America, but in a world where he said on multiple occasions, "I live here because I can pay people off." He's literally said, "That's why I live in the East. Like that's why I'm here in Romania. If something goes wrong, I can just pay them off." Because you can't do that in America. You get pulled over, you get arrested for bribing. He goes, "I can bribe here." No.
Fine. So bribery is not a big thing in Romania, but human trafficking apparently is. So much so that they're holding him without charges, without official charges for the next 30 days while they investigate, which puts them at huge risk of being sued for a huge amount of money if they don't have a proper case.
So if it goes under and they don't get him for trafficking,
but they think that they have enough of a case to do this.
But if they don't, what are they going to What are they going to do? They hold him for 30 days. It doesn't work because, okay, we can't say this happens. Say they can't prove him for human trafficking. What are they going to charge him with that's going to be any relevant? Do you know what I'm saying? Like if that doesn't go through, then they're like, okay, well, fuck. Like that's where I just think it's going to fall that way.
Huge tax evasion, allegedly. He was rich before because he ran the webcam studio in England. Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
That's how we got his
kickboxing
money,
thing, but the kickboxing thing, Ziggy, he never made money off that. He's been open to the fact that he never made money off that kickboxing thing at all.
Yeah.
But the webcam studio made him, but not rich to this level. I'm sorry, not rich
that is how he got rich.
The webcam studio didn't make him rich to the Lambo level. The Lambo level was recently.
Rich. No.
Yeah.
Yes, because the university, the Hustlers University, but he also did make hundreds of millions from the studio thing. But Ziggy, you're missing what we're saying here. We're saying that webcam studio that you're saying he got rich off of, that is what he's being investigated for. The girls he made money off from the webcam setup that you just said is the thing he's being charged with. That's how he got his money. He became rich because of that. That's why they're charging him. So I think there's a little bit of a, like, I don't know. I feel like you're skipping over something. Like we're talking about that. That's how he made his money, though. He didn't get rich before that.
Look, I mean,
he was rich because of these girls.
It's if you want to set up OnlyFans type thing where I can call a number, that's completely legal. And yes, it's unsavory, right? I mean, it's not something you're going to tell your grandmother you do necessarily, unless she's a MILF or whatever. But unless your grandmother's into kicky stuff, right? You're not going to tell her. Like I wouldn't. I don't have any grandmothers, but I wouldn't tell my late grandmother if I was doing that. That's something you're proud of, right? Sort of like NFTs the last couple of months until we turned around a bit. You don't want to really tell people about it. So it's not that. It's more about how he got in there. Again, it's all allegedly. It could be completely like he says. The Matrix is trying to frame him, and in the end, because he's getting too loud and he's making young men think about, do they want to be a workhorse for the rest of their life? Could be all of that, could not. Another one that we'll keep an eye on and is really quite interesting, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Crypto Dream says, I've never seen you guys so passionate about something. That's it. We were quite passionate about the Logan Paul thing before that.
We were.
And we're quite passionate about Sappy Seals. There's a couple of things. But Crypto Dream, it's good to see you, my friend. It's the first time I've seen you 2023 on the show. Another regular. Thank you for joining us.
It's just because it's people, though. It's because it's people. And we're talking about, like, real people here and, like, manipulation. And also, the reason we're getting into it is because, like, not only is it manipulation, but what leads to manipulation is total confusion. Like, Ziggy here was talking about the fact that he got rich before. And I was like, no. That was the same thing. And, like, because of that manipulation, nobody actually knows what's going on. And so, like, Ziggy walks around thinking this, even though it doesn't really matter, like, in the grand scheme of things, for his perspective, he thinks this because of wrong information. So it's like he's got an opinion based on wrong information, which makes it, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why we're clarifying it.
I think Ziggy's saying he was rich before he ran the webcam studio in England as being. I don't think he was either. I'm saying I think if I'm right, I remember him talking about that he didn't make money off kickboxing, but maybe that was the beginning days that he was talking about. But he was world champion, so maybe he did get good money near the end, but not the level of what he got from webcam. And the webcam studio wasn't at the level from what he's got from the Tate University and all the stuff he's done in the last 12 months since he's blown up.
He made bank from, he made like hundreds of millions from the webcam studio. Like that's how he got the Lambos to start blowing up and to do Hustlers University. But like what I'm saying is like Ziggy thinks that he was finished before the webcam girl lawsuit thing. And I'm saying that the lawsuit webcam girl studio where he made all the money is all the same situation. There was no before or after that.
But he's saying he made it off the boxing. And we don't know how much he made at the end of the boxing, but I also didn't think that he made big money from that. Crypto Dream, what do you say? I'm happy. Yes, good, my brother. Can you see I got a tan? Look, makes Kate look.
I know.
Makes Kate look very white. I was sitting in the sun, which was great. Had a good time. And just keeping with criminals, alleged. We've got Sam Bankman-Fried. So he pleads not guilty, which is obvious. Obviously, he can always plead guilty at another stage, but you want to sort of feel it out. Any big high-profile case, generally speaking, the main guy like SBF pleads not guilty, so not a big surprise there. But another fight that's going on also. Again, so it's just basically saying that any lawyer will advise you to do so, and they can always go back on this. He was released on bond bail, so he never actually really had to pay a cent. I thought he only had $200,000 left. Apparently not. The bail package allowed Bankman-Fried to remain under house arrest at his parents' home. Bankman-Fried's lawyers also filed a letter to the Manhattan Federal Court on Tuesday seeking redactions of the names of two individuals who intend to help secure his multi-million-dollar bail. So they did say that the parents are putting up some of the money, but the other two people who put up money have been able to remain anonymous. And again, they haven't put up the full amount of money. It's just it's a bond, which means that they've shown the court security to that amount of assets that should he disappear, they will be liable to sell those assets to pay $250 million, if that makes sense. Almost like, if you own a home and it's paid off and it's worth $10 million, you can sign surety to the bank and get a credit line of maybe $8 million. And if you don't pay, they come and collect your house, right? Same sort of thing. It's a bond that's been put up. It's been a little under 2 months since the once major crypto exchange, filed for bankruptcy. And it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. There's two things going on here. Either the guy's just, now finally following legal advice and doing what his lawyers say, or he's a complete sociopath who's out of touch with reality and honestly thinks that he hasn't done anything wrong here. I highly hope that's not the latter, because then he's not like the person we thought he was on any level. If he really doesn't think he did anything wrong here, then not only is he crazy, but the whole NFT space and crypto space is crazy, because, we all thought he was our blue-eyed boy. And if he really doesn't think that taking people who deposit with him and using them allegedly to trade shit coins is okay, then we've got bigger problems than we thought. So I hope it's just a legal tactic that everyone, does, and pleads not guilty and sees, what case they have against them and tries to, fight it out in court. What do you think?
He has to claim, if he claims guilty, it's over, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like everything's done. So like he doesn't really have a choice here. But
and it also buys him freedom. Even if he knows he's going to go to jail, it buys him a year or two of freedom, right?
Yeah. No, yeah. I think you're totally dude, I'm telling you, bro, this guy's gonna disappear. Like he's not gonna go to prison, and he's gonna disappear and run away. I swear to God, he's gonna disappear. He's gonna disappear. You can mark it here. He's gonna disappear. All right.
I disagree.
If Philip is right, it's fine. If Philip is right, then I will have to give him a Bored Ape. If Philip is wrong, then I guess I'm gonna have to send Philip a Bored Ape Yacht Club.
All right. Well, you heard that's a deal. So you're gonna send me a Bored Ape.
But it's too bad that we can't handshake in real life, where he would be cemented.
No. Hold on. This is completely legally binding. Yeah, 100%. There doesn't have to be a handshake's got nothing to do with it.
Where's the smart contract? Where's the smart contract? I don't see it.
Hold on. Are we making a deal here or not?
There's zero chance I can send
I'll give you a chance. Okay, so we can lower the stakes. What do you want to bet? 0.1 Ethereum.
Well, okay. So when do we decide? When do we decide this is like a
You
closed
said he's going to
deal?
skip. If the guy runs away and is gone, yes, and they have to pay their 200. The people who signed surety for his bond have to pay the $250 million. Then it's done. Boom. There we go.
So when the case is over, you're saying?
No.
When we decide?
He skips, if he disappears, you saying he's going to run.
But I'm saying, like, at what point do we say, okay, the bet's over, like it's happened, like when? Because if he doesn't run till the end or something like that, like when do we say, okay, I lost or you lost?
If he runs at any stage, you win.
Okay. How about this?
Okay.
Instead of doing a 0.1 ETH bet, we give away an NFT worth 0.1 on the show live.
Let's do it like this. Exactly that. But I give it away because I'm going to win it. And if otherwise, you give it away on your show because you're going to win it. Right? So fine. The 0.1 Ethereum will be given away on the show. And yeah, done. Okay.
Wait. If you move your hand to the side, we can screenshot this. No, other hand to the middle.
No, that is the hand.
No, but like for the video, you have to do it with the other hand so that it makes sense. So it's like,
how are you going to do it? You move your hand.
Just do this. No, you have to go towards the middle of the screen, Philip. We're on a reverse cam. No, use your other hand. But move it toward the screen.
My other hand doesn't go there.
No.
Holy crap.
Just try it. No, you're going the wrong way. You got to shake my hand and meet in the middle. You're going to the wrong side.
You know more about cameras than me.
Just do this.
Let me put my hand.
Just do this. No. Just do this towards the middle of the screen. No, the middle of the screen. You're going towards the opposite side of the screen.
Okay.
Other hand. There we go. Right there. Nope. Too far. Take it to meet my thumb right here. See my thumb right here? Look at that. That is a handshake in virtual land. That's a hand. Shake my hand. Shake my hand.
Fine.
Philip,
this is a much better thing. This looks like a handshake.
What are you talking about? To who? Who are you shaking hands with, Philip?
Put your hand back. Yeah, hold on. Put your hand a bit back. Like go out of there we go. That's a handshake.
Are you kidding me, Philip? What are you talking about? Your hand's all the way over there. You're not shaking my hand. My hand's right here. You got to meet me in the middle.
All right. Maybe when you watch it back, you might have a different setup to me.
Wait, no. Right now. If I screenshot this, look at this.
That's a handshake.
No. Let me take a photo right now, and let me show you what I'm talking about. Right now, look at this. All right, look at the screen. So look at this. That's what this looks like. You're not shaking my hand. You're moving your hand to the other side of the screen.
It looks completely different to me because mine's mirrored.
Bro. Oh, okay.
It looks completely
on the YouTube
different
stream. This is what it looks like on the YouTube stream right now.
Is it? Okay, because I mirror my camera.
In the middle. Okay, so try the other one.
No, that makes complete sense. No, I understand what you're saying. Fine. I'll see it when I play it back. But on my side, it looked like a proper handshake, but I mirror my camera. I'm
saying we got to screenshot it from the YouTube video, and they're not going to be able to. We're not going to be able to screenshot it.
I understand.
Well, there's nothing there.
That's hilarious.
But I guess we did shake.
Okay.
We did shake, so we got it.
We shook many times. Let's just clarify the terms of this very, very quickly. Very quickly. Okay. The bet is as follows. You are saying that Sam Bankman-Fried is going to skip the country. I'm saying that he isn't. If he skips at any stage, you win. And I pay you 0.1 ETH, and you give that away to your community.
Down.
If he doesn't skip the country, so either he's found innocent or found guilty or whatever, so it's going to be in a lot longer time, but he doesn't skip the country, then you give me 0.1 ETH, and I will be giving that away to the community, and we'll do it together on this show. Okay.
Lit. Sounds good. Deal.
Don't ask me to shake hands again. Jesus, that's
shake hands, baby. Crypto Dream says, "Shake my hand" on TikTok live stream.
No, then it's going to go another half an hour later because on my side it looked completely different. But all right, last thing about SPF, and then we're done, bro. Bankman-Fried today tells FTX debtors that Robinhood shares should not be a part of the case. So basically, they're trying to attach the value of the Robinhood shares to pay off FTX debtors. Bankman-Fried is saying two things. He's saying, number one, Robinhood's got nothing to do with FTX. It's a completely separate entity. And number two, which I found really interesting, is that it will cause him irreparable harm by taking this money away from him. It will cause Sam Bankman-Fried irreparable harm. So let me read this to you, but I mean, it's just crazy to think that this could even be an argument. The FTX debtors, so the people that lost money or that had their money allegedly stolen from them, the debtors seek to disregard the separate existence of a corporation that is not a party to this action and they encumbered hundreds of millions of dollars worth of assets. Bankman-Fried is relying on his stake in Robinhood to fund his criminal defense, the petition says. So if you withhold the shares of Robinhood, then let me just read it to you. The withholding of costs necessary to an adequate criminal defense can constitute irreparable harm. The petition says, conversely, the FTX debtors only face economic loss if they don't get their hands on the Robinhood money. Can you imagine that as a defense? It's crazy. He's saying, by me not being able to have access to Robinhood shares, I might go to jail forever, which is irreparable harm because I won't be able to pay my lawyers. But the FTX guys who lost money, they just lost money. Don't worry about them. Meantime, he's placed a bond of $250 million, showing that he's got access to all the money in the world. So don't come and say that if he doesn't have access to a couple of $100 million from Robinhood, that he's going to end up in jail because he can't pay his lawyers. I mean, they are playing so dirty here. I mean, it's obviously the criminal defense system. That's how it works. But it's just absolutely laughable. The logic of this defense is absolutely laughable.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that like, they're playing within the bounds of the legal system. So it's one of those where there are always loopholes, bro. It's fucked. But you see what I mean, though? Like, you see how many bullshit loopholes there are in the U.S.?
No, well, it's not
just
a loophole.
Imagine Romania, bro. Just imagine Romania.
No, the counter, the other party, for the state against FTX will argue, well, then how did you get access to a $250 million bond?
They fucking better, bro. They better.
No, they will. I mean, that's the obvious thing, right? But the legal system, look, I'm not going into the Romania thing. I'm not going into it again. Guys, we've been going for almost 2.5 hours. I'm so happy to be back. The first show of 2023. I missed my viewers. I missed doing this with Cade, discussing everything NFT Web3 related. If you haven't already, please like, please subscribe, and we will see you here next week. Same time, same place for another Freestyle Friday. Thank you, everybody.
I think we're going to try and make it shorter, right? For the